All right, my new favorite sponsor on the Eric Zane Show podcast, Factor Meals. These folks got it right. Nutritious, complete, lower calorie meals, taste outstanding, and you don't have to do all the food prep work. Prepping food is a full-time job. It gets to a point where it's just not sustainable to make all of that food, put it into the containers. It takes a lot of time. And as I talked about before, if only there was a company that put together delicious, nutritious, fantastic meals, all different types of meals for you to choose from, and they package them all for you. Well, enter Factor. Oh my gosh. Absolute game changer when it comes to eating appropriately. You know, you might spend a lot of time making a great meal for you and your family. All right, one meal. It's consistency. Consistency is the key to wellness. If you're the type of person who's looking to lose a little weight, but do it the right way by eating appropriately, getting the necessary exercise and things like that, Factor is awesome because it's such a time saver. You simply grab the meals out of the fridge and off you go. You can pack them for lunch. You can have them for breakfast. You can have them for dinner. It can be on the go. Whatever you need, Factor has you covered. Get Factor and enjoy eating well without the hassle. Simply choose your meals and enjoy fresh, flavor-packed meals delivered to your door, ready in just 2 minutes. You pop them in the microwave if you want. No prep, no mess. And here's how you take advantage. Go to factormeals.com/Zane50. Use code Zane50 to get 50% off. That's code Zane50 at factormeals.com/Zane50 to get 50% off. Hello, friends. It's time for Not the Best of the Eric Zane Show podcast. I have to be away from doing the fresh, regular, free show. So I've got some content from my archive of Patreon bonus podcasts that I'm making available for you to check out from the not too distant future. So hopefully you will enjoy this. As you know, you can follow me on Twitch if you want my show live Monday through Friday. Twitch.tv/Eric Zane Live, or download the Twitch app and just search Eric Zane Live. And then I started right around 8 a.m. every single morning, Monday through Friday. Unless, of course, I'm doing a Not the Best of show, which does happen. So here you go. My gosh. All right. If you ever want to reach me, reach out to Eric at ericzaneshow.com. That is the Shoreliner Striping inbox. I also need to point out that on my Patreon, there is so much content on there, and I want you to try it out for free. Patreon.com/Eric Zane. That's P as in Paul, ATREON.com/Eric Zane. You can try out the Patreon for 7 days free. You do need a payment form when you put it in there, but seriously, you can sign up and then cancel it 1 minute later, and you still get the 7 days free. Or just wait if you want, if you're okay with that. And at the 7 days, then it will charge you either $5 or $10 a month. Put a lot of sweat, energy, and time into the Patreon, and I hope you like it. I've got a stable of shows, many, many shows that are there for you to check out. Plenty of material for you to get caught up on. I suggest you start with the Who Are These Free Beers or the Ben and Eric Patreon podcast or the Who Are These Zanes shows. All a ton of fun. All right, let's get after it. Not the best of the Eric Zane Show podcast. All right, you can tell by my face. This is serious business. Something very dramatic has just happened. Very pressing. Someone is stressed to the max. His name is Benny the One-Eyed Wonder Dog, and his world has come crashing down because Mom is washing his bed. Oh, yeah. The look in that dog's eyes of, oh, no, what's going on here? I am tortured again. Ooh. He does not know what to do with himself. He usually sleeps on the floor in one of two beds, memory foam beds. They're enormous. They occupy the whole room. Well, they're starting to stink, so they need to be washed. So I don't give a shit. He jump on the bed all the time. My dogs always get up there. Seems like we have to wash the comforter every 2 days. Basically, Diane and I sleep in a dog bed. It wouldn't surprise me if I've actually, been sleeping with my mouth open and with my face in dried dog leavings at some point. Would not surprise me at all. It's horrible. It's inevitable. Now, when I go out into public, I will bathe and wash off the dog leavings. So I'm clean if I interact with you. Well, we live like animals here in this household. And damn it, I'm proud of it. Benny, during the New Year's, when it went from New Year's Eve to New Year's, like stroke of midnight, my neighbor behind me has like a enough of an arsenal to like supply Ukraine. And I hear thunk. That's the sound of the mortar flying into the air. And then I know I've got a split second, short amount of time before thunk. Kablamo! And he lights the shit off. I'm like, oh, fuck. So I didn't even think about this, but minutes later, I can feel as I'm laying there with my eyes closed, I'm like, I feel like I'm being watched. I open up my eyes. And there, staring me in the face. Right. On the side of the bed, on the floor. There's Benny, the one-eyed wonder dog. Whoa! You guys look like you need some company. You're probably scared to death. I'd love to come in there with you and make sure you're not scared. Come on. Okay, I'll get out there. I'm not scared, though. I just want to protect you. Sounds like a male version of Maureen almost there. So, anything like that, because of the PTSD, he gets fucking scared to death. Now, this is the only one of my dogs that does this. This is why you don't abuse your animals. O'Neill and Daisy and Bruce, like, what is your fucking deal? We don't have anything to relate to you. We don't. You're so weird. Why are you like this? And Benny has to explain, whoa, you fucking assholes. You've had the good life your whole life. Somebody fucking dug out my eye. I was tied up to a fucking cinder block forever in the heat of Texas with motherfucking flies as big as sparrows biting my fucking face. Fuck you. The dog's like, Bruce, O'Neill, Benny, like, shut up. So we got to be extra. We got to take care of Benny, and that's why he was so crushed today when this is the extent of how normally it's like, hey, Benny, how are you? Hey, Benny. And so then he starts peeing on the Christmas tree today. And I went, Benny, no, don't do that. Now, if it were Bruce or Daisy or O'Neill, I would just scream like, at the top of my lungs. No! Benny, you can't do that. Oh, Benny, no, Benny. Oh my God. Sprints upstairs 1,000,000 miles an hour. Get trembling. Oh my God, I cannot believe this torture I get here. So today, Queen of the Forest, I got to clean this room. And so now Benny just does not know what to do with himself. He is freaking out. He'll be okay, though. Shit, what the fuck is going on here with this phone? If you did not check out Smarter Than a Former Drug Dealer Trivia, it's really worth it for the plot twist. Hang on, I'll be right with you. Having a little tech issue. Okay, say hi to everybody.
Hello.
Okay, so I was just describing the torture that Benny is undergoing today.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Can you maybe break it down about how he's doing since the terrible event of losing his bed for an hour has affected him?
Right, because he has no alternative place to sleep, like our bed that
right.
he likes to sleep. Yeah.
I covered that. He doesn't, I don't think he digs it, right? I mean, if you tell him to get up on that bed, he won't do it. But if you walk away and then he gets up, then he'll stay.
Right. Yeah, he is. This last couple of days, he's just, having a hard time.
Oh, yeah, he's a bundle of nerves. I mean, I had to slightly raise my voice up 1/2 decibel because he urinated on the Christmas tree. And then
I was wondering why he ran back up here so fast.
Oh, he was crushed.
He ran back
back
up here and got in the bed with me. I'm like, what are you doing? Did you eat? Did you even go outside yet?
Oh yeah, it was remarkable. And then I've convinced him to come back downstairs, and he's absolutely sure that I was going to euthanize him. I let him outside, and it was raining, and he's like, "Oh no, double trouble!" And he ran right back in. I'm going to hold on to my pee.
Well, I took him outside, and he tried to push the gate open to leave.
And, oh my God! Yeah, it's because he's like, I'm hitting the road. And then on the way upstairs, he grabbed a cat turd and ate that.
Oh, nice. That's always nice.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, seriously. So your daughter yesterday, she gave me this big speech about we got to go to the bank and get because the bank account is in my name and her name. She wants it just in her name. And then we have to find time. And I'm like, she is not even awake.
Well, yeah, she's awake. She's just in there. She texted me.
Okay.
So I know.
Yeah. All right. Gotta make time.
Gotta make time. You don't. All hell breaks loose.
Oh my God. Those two. Jeez. My God. All right. Have you heard anything about the football player?
Nope. His family reached out and said, thanks for everything. Thanks for your prayers, thoughts and prayers. Thanks for your generosity. We will update.
Did you hear about the toy charity story?
Yeah.
Yeah, he wanted to raise $2,500.
Yeah. Now he's got like $1 million in there.
It's got like $4 million.
Yeah. Which I think is awesome. I mean, like, that is so nice. But at the same time, and this is going to sound like a Scrooge to me, but I don't like, why does it have to take a tragedy for people to do that? Do you know what I mean?
I don't know. I don't know why that is. You should probably just not even bring it up.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, well, yeah, that's awesome and so very generous, but why didn't you just donate in the first place?
You see, you can't do that. You can't take
this is like a serious question.
No,
like,
I know it is, but you can't, you're just supposed to not say it because everybody's kind of like loving it, and everyone.
Yeah, I know. I love it too. I know.
You see, I shouldn't be explaining this because I'm the idiot.
Oh, dear.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Well, I will talk at you later.
I'll talk at you later, too.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye. Yeah, she went all, what's the guy's name that we talked about on the show? She went all Skip Bayless on us. With why does it have to take this? Yeah. Don't do that. Just go with it. Just leave it alone. Last thing you want to do is mix in a little fucking hot take. Peter King was on with Mike Florio from Pro Football Talk. And he posted he brought up a scenario that, with fingers crossed that this young man makes a full recovery, there is going to come a point in his recovery that someone says, hey, boy, I'm so glad you're out of the woods. You won't believe what happened. Your little old charity that, you had wanted to raise a few $1,000s for these kids has blown up. And now you have millions of dollars to do whatever you want to help these kids. He's going to be like, oh my God, what? That's going to be a hell of a moment. Something to look forward to. I saw the clip of the dude when, like a couple weeks earlier, he saw his mother, his sweet mother, and his family members on the sidelines. And before the game started, he walked up to him and gave them all big hugs and shit. I mean, this guy is everybody. I hadn't heard of him before this game, but I think I would have eventually because he was starting to become a prominent player. This guy. Kyler says, watch him pull a Brett Favre. What are you suggesting? He's steal the money. He's going to steal the money for himself. Oh, Favre. My God. All right. I guess there's some discussion on the chat about giving the pet some type of CBD oil to calm the pet down. I guess, yeah. I think that might be. I would discuss it with my vet first, or his vet. I'm wondering if you guys did. Or did you just say, hey, let's just give it to him? I'm hoping the Chris's and the Stevies of the world consulted with their veterinarian professional before they decided to dose their cat or whatever the fuck they did. You know, though, if I ever did that to calm the dog down, I mean, his personality is just so sweet to have him. I mean, it keeps me always treating him extra special, you know, not that I go around and cut off my dogs that aren't Benny with cut off their ears with kitchen shears or anything like that. Stevie, of course not. Of course does not consult the physician before she starts medicating the dog like a human. Chris just lied to us and said, my vet recommended. That's not true. All right. I have an update. Thank you to Ryan, who sent along. Wow, I am just so intrigued by this. A computer animation that showed what would happen to a human body, if they were sucked into an airplane engine. Now, this is an animation, but considering that we just had that story out of someplace in Alabama where the dude got sucked into the plane engine, which I still cannot get how that one person survived this. There must have been something. He must have hit the fan and flown out or something. There's no way a person could survive this. Through math and speed and velocity and RPMs and composition of human tissue, some genius decided to come up with this animation. So let's sit back, audio check, video check, and watch what would happen to a human body if it got sucked into an airplane. Okay, now this is the star of the show right here. This human body thing here. Okay. You see that the fans there and the spinning motors, immediately it's mist. It's just red. Well, there's got to be more to it than that, right? Okay, now that all happened very fast. You see in the animation, the guy hit the fan. He immediately becomes red mist, and then the redness fades. That's because it's treating the body like, it's got this big wad of mass that's now become tiny, tiny particles, and then it just shoots it out the back of the motor. Now, let's see it in slow-mo and up close. Okay, now I like how they, when this is happening, you can, they've added like sloshing sound effects, you know? You can barely hear it. It's subtle, but you've got a real audio slosh happening. Look at that. There's little bits of dude flying all over the place. For the most part, though, he just disappears. Look at, it's like getting sucked into a black hole. Wow. You can still see some body, and then it's just gone. Look at, this is like the real up close one, where you hear all sorts of hot slosh. Very nauseous. Look at that. Now we're going to get a cross section of the motor. Look, he's shooting out the back. Look at all the little bits of dude flying out of the back of this motherfucker. That is incredible. Wow. And that's it. Holy shit. That's a little bit nauseating. It's very disturbing because that just happened. Like Saturday. That happened. Stevie describes it as a massive blender. Ryan, who sent it, says this is fantastic. Oh, my God. So, I mean, with shredder, giant industrial shredder, let's all vote. There's 10 of us watching. There's always like a dozen or so. So you got to pick. Industrial shredder, like a paper shredder, but for big shit. Guy falls in there. They find meat chunk weeks later. Horrible story. You can vote for that one, shredder. You can vote for numerous wood chippers stories. Guy pulled into wood chipper and shot into the back of the truck. Now, don't vote until you hear all the choices. So, shredder, wood chipper, lady potato chip machine. Her face became potato chips. She went through that thing. Guy who fell T2 style into the giant thing full of liquid molten steel. Incinerated. Hang on. That's 4. And then 5 is jet engine. Shredder, wood chipper, potato chipper, molten steel, jet engine. Of those 5 big ones that have just happened, I need your vote out of the 10 of you for the worst. Very informal poll. You can cast your vote. 1 vote only. Your choices are industrial shredder, wood chipper, face being turned into potato chips, vat of molten steel, or jet engine. Now, Adam writes, jet engine death seems instantaneous. Are we looking, so that's like a good thing. What's our parameters here? Are we looking at level of horribleness, worst way to go. Let's go with worst way to go of all these things. Another sneeze. Oh, my God, I'm a mess today. Oh, don't forget tuna pressure cooker. I forgot about that. So there's 6. Okay, scrap everything. Industrial shredder, wood chipper, potato chip face machine, vat of molten steel, jet airplane engine, or tuna pressure cooker. The tuna pressure cooker, if you don't know, at the Bumblebee Tuna, they would pull a chain and then 12,000 pounds of canned tuna roll into the pressure cooker. But the chain wasn't working. And so the Hispanic dude went in there to go, he's trying to like figure the shit out, and and then all of a sudden the guy pulls the chain again, and 12,000 pounds of canned tuna covers the guy. If that doesn't kill him, the lid shuts, and then he's cooked for 2 hours at 230 degrees. You can't escape that one. Those other ones are devastating, but all the other 5, you have an instantaneous death. The potato chip machine, maybe not. I don't know. But I would say, in my opinion, the final matchup is potato chip face and tuna dude. Pressure cooker. That means that the pressure is pushing the heat into your cells. Thank you, Nick, for not forgetting that one. And I'm going to have to go all day with getting pressure cooked. Maureen Fat Fingers it and writes, worst way to go is Tina Pressure Vooker. Funny. I know what you meant. Yeah, we're getting a lot of votes for Bumblebee tuna death, which, I mean, true, it was 11 years ago. The family got $6 million out of the deal, so they're happy. They don't care. Ryan writes, I guess if I had to die, I'd pick becoming a potato chip so others can enjoy me for days to come. I don't think they ate the chick's face. I don't think that's what happened. I think it just, when she came out the other side, it was bloody chips of face. That's what it was. My God. Thank you, Ryan, for sending that along. We got plenty of excellent mileage out of that. That is the only way to cope with these horrible deaths. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. If there's a story that happens like around here, similar in scope, I'm probably going to have to not have the type of stupid tone like I do for these stories. Because there's a very good chance that if anybody dies from something, this type of traumatic way, through one way or another, maybe it's just once removed, I will have a connection. I will know someone who knows the deceased. Kind of like 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon or some shit. Who will be paying attention to this. And I'm over here making cracks about somebody who got run over with I don't know. I can't even think of anything worse than what I've described. But I'm just trying to get out ahead of this, Okay. Update on the dude who killed the 4 college students in Idaho. Look at him. Look at this guy. He looks like the type of dude who is, starting to experience the effects of Lou Gehrig's disease. Where you're all head and you're from the neck down, your body's starting to fall apart. I don't know how he managed to kill 4 young, healthy college students. This fucking pipsqueak. But he did. There was an extradition hearing today to get this fucker from Pennsylvania to Idaho to begin the proceedings to potentially bring him to justice. Brian Kohlberger. We talked yesterday how he has been in the criminal justice criminology field and was working on some like a PhD. One of his professors knows BTK very, very well and has communicated with him over the years. She speaks on a lot of like podcasts and true crime shows about the nature of the beast of someone like Dennis Rader, BTK. So there is kind of a strange connection to a serial killer. One of the ways sometime investigators, when they're trying to match up if there's any connection to a murder victim with DNA left behind to a potential bad person who they suspect did it, you try to get a DNA sample. And sometimes investigators, when they're figuring out who is who and what's what, without tipping off the bad guy, they might stalk them, see where they go, wait for them to take a swig of coffee out of a cup, throw the cup away, fish the cup out of the garbage, try to salvage any DNA that is on the cup to match to DNA at the crime scene. That happens. And this dude, Brian Kohlberger, investigators think he was well aware of that and was being very, very careful as he went about his life for the several weeks after the attack and the death of these 4 students. There's very little information that has come out about this. However, there is one that the Daily Mail is running with. The man accused of these slayings was allegedly stalking them in the weeks leading up to the murders and wore gloves in public places after the killings. Kohlberger was fastidious about not leaving his fingerprints behind after the murders, even wearing gloves when he entered a grocery store, according to a friend of one of the police officers assigned to follow him there. He's not stupid and has been very careful, the anonymous source said. While Kohlberger was under surveillance in Pennsylvania, according to the source, police witnessed him appearing to try and avoid leaving any more DNA or fingerprints behind by taking protective measures in public. A good friend of ours was one of the cops who has been following him the last couple days. The source explained of their connection to the surveillance on Kohlberger in Pennsylvania. So take this with a grain of salt. But this is a screenshot of this anonymous tipster coming forward. Anonymous, please. He was arrested only 40 minutes from our home near our aunt and uncle's. Went to school with my cousins. His sister lives in our town. A good friend of ours was one of the cops who'd been following him the last couple of days. He coaches with my husband and was telling him all the crazy details. He followed him into a Giant, that's a local grocery store, and wore gloves the entire time. He'd been stalking them for weeks, not sure if they ever interacted, but his cell phone pings followed the victim's every move for weeks. So freaking scary and disturbing. I've been so invested in this case the last 6 weeks, and to find out how close he is to us and that one of our friends found him and arrested him is just crazy. So that's, again, take it with a grain of salt. Yeah, I fully expected, not some guy to look like this idiot. He looks harmless. Now, if I had seen someone like Boring Dean, then I would have been like, oh, yeah. In a lot of ways, someone did kill these 4. And, if it were Boring Dean to do that, do you know how quickly I would rush to every TV camera in the world to talk about how there's a connection between your old pal Eric Zane and Boring Dean? Talk about vindication. If it was Boring Dean, and all this time I've been saying, I don't know, the guy just strikes me as a fucking psychopath and a creep because he follows my every step and comes to my house and bangs on my door and shit like that. And everybody's saying, no, he's just funny. He's hilarious. He's harmless. I'd be like, yeah, fuck you. Can you imagine the vindication? I would take the slowest victory lap ever. I would make travel arrangements to go to every single person of that ilk to bang on their door and tell them to suck my dick. If that happened. If it was Dean who did it, I'd go up to Cedar Springs to the homeless shelter where the Schaefers live and tell them to suck my dick. That's what I would do. I would go over to the battered men's shelter where Nick lives in Maine and say, suck my dick. That would be, and I'm going to take 1 year off the podcast to go visit all of these pieces of shit and tell them, see, I was right. I was right. Holy shit. Chris says, he murdered those people for the show. Look at all this content. Referring to this dude who's accused of killing the kids, those 4 college students. Kyler writes, hold on, sorry. He's been bullied for his eyebrows since day one. He hid his killer instinct in his eyebrows. What the fuck? Concerning death by one of these horrible ways that we described, Ram says, if you fell into the industrial shredder legs first, you would feel every bone being crushed until it reaches your chest. Yeah, that's rough. That's bad. So that is a caveat. Legs first would be a problem. Same thing with wood chipper. Same thing with airplane. I still say tuna, pressure cooker death. It's tough to beat that. If the 12,000 pounds of canned tuna didn't kill you, the 2.5 hours in the pressure cooker while the rest of your coworkers wonder where you are would have to do it. So, all right, Iowa suspect. You know, at the end of the day, though, in all honesty, these 6 kids, there's 4 that were killed. I don't know who is who. I think the lady who's on the shoulders, she is of the deceased, as is the chick who's holding her on her shoulders. The tall dude is Ethan. Look at him. Oh, my God. And then, I don't know. I think the 3 blondes, so there's 4 in this picture. But, I mean, look at all of these people. These 6 beautiful, bright people. What the fuck is going on? What could possibly have happened that would have made this maniac want to do this? And that's always a question that you ask these psychopaths. What is happening there? And why is it that terrible to just float the idea of when we find out who did what and when and why, we just shoot him in the head? What is the big fucking deal about this? I think sometimes we're just too civilized. Little bit more about this. Police were on his tail during the cross-country road trip and continued to follow him back to Albrightsville, Pennsylvania, where he was ultimately apprehended. Now, after the because earlier I skipped a paragraph. After the murders, he first returned to teaching at Washington State, but then he drove 2,000 miles from Idaho to Pennsylvania in order to hide out at his parents' Poconos home. He got pulled over twice in Illinois for some reason. I think he was speeding, and then a short time after that, he got pulled over again for following too close to another motorist. According to students in his class, so they've been talking to the students in the class as he's student teaching. They said, "Oh yeah, I mean, if this is the guy who did it while he was teaching us, he acted like nothing ever happened." Multiple students in the program told Fox Seattle that Kohlberger did not appear different following the murders. The campus of his school is only a 15-minute drive from where the incident happened. Ben Roberts, a criminology student, told the Fox affiliate that Kohlberger was confident and outgoing, but still appeared as if he was always looking for a way to fit in. More interactions with people that knew him. Kohlberger memorably harassed female staff at 7 Siren Brewing Company near his hometown in northeast Pennsylvania. One of the people told NBC that employees labeled Kohlberger in their system as a guy who makes creepy comments. Boy, who else do you know has done that? And said he once called a staffer a bitch for spurning his advances. This is why you got to take this shit seriously. You know? You never know. So, in my opinion, there is no difference between Kohlberger and Boring Dean based on the facts that I have, because I don't know anything as a fact about Kohlberger. All I know is that people think he was a creep, and I think Dean's a creep. So there you go. Right now, Dean is no different than a man accused of being a serial killer, in my opinion. Aram says, I don't see much similarity between his crimes and BTK. Well, that's a thing. Well, BTK, you know, his crimes, he killed men, he killed women, he killed kids, he stalked. And I don't think anybody knows enough about Kohlberger's crimes to be able to say. I don't know if the murder itself, if you're looking at just the victims, then perhaps. But we don't know how this happened. And I think once the background happens, then you can compare. But BTK, if this guy did stalk, BTK, there was a couple times he waited in people's homes who didn't come home and foiled the crime. And then he admitted later, oh, yeah, I was in this person's house waiting for hours, and then they decided to go see a friend, and I never got a chance. He would stalk people for days. Finally, the day comes, he's going to kill them. They don't come home, so everything gets fucked up for him. He's like, shit. And then that person lives. That's how he would operate. He was meticulous in his stalking. So, you know, I don't know how much this guy stalked. If he did, then there absolutely is a similarity. Crazy. I am very anxious to see how this unfolds. And the fact that he, has waived his extradition, which is what he did today, will hasten the process. So that's interesting to me. Ram asked, was this guy looking for sexual gratification? We don't know that yet. That has not been revealed. We know very little about this guy, but I'll be watching. To be sure. A pause in the action on Not the Best of the Eric Zane Show podcast to tell you about some of these amazing sponsors that keep this podcast free. As you know, I do 2 podcasts a day. I do the free one, which is powered by sponsors. It's powered financially by sponsors so that you have it free. The Patreon is behind a paywall. Your dollars and cents power that one with no sponsors. That's how we do it. And almost 5 years now to the day since this whole racket started. And I want to thank Frank Fuss from My Policy Shop Insurance. Okay. He is a licensed independent insurance agent / broker. If you are married and you have a family, in the unlikely event that something tragic happens to you, what's going to happen to the rest of the family? Have you ever thought about that? I don't know about you, but that's the type of thought that can keep someone awake at night. How about you skip all that anxiety and you reach out to Frank Fuss and find out how he can get you into a fantastic life insurance policy to make sure that your family is taken care of in the event that something goes wrong. Now, you don't pay Frank a dime. Frank gets paid by the insurance companies. So I just want you to reach out to him and say, Easy sent me, and I need to know about life insurance. Now, he does all types of insurance, but I'm only talking about life insurance right here because I like to dig deep, and I don't like to bombard you with all the different shit people do. So we're just talking life insurance right now. Here's a website, buy, B-U-Y, insurancehere.com. Now, you're not buying any insurance on the site. You're just giving Frank your name. He's going to call you. There's a spot where it says, how'd you hear about me? Hit the drop down. It says Zane. Off you go. Thank you so much to Frank, and I want you to do this. Just talk to Frank. You know, you're under no obligation. Quit being a dickhead. All right, talk to Frank. The Grand Rapids Gold are the Denver Nuggets G League basketball team. All right, the young up-and-coming players for the NBA champion Denver Nuggets play in Grand Rapids, Michigan. The Grand Rapids Gold could probably kick the Pistons' ass. Get your tickets at grandrapidsgold.com. Next game is January 2nd. Come see your old pal EZ. I'm courtside. I'm right at center court with headphones on. And come see me at halftime or after the game, or I don't give a shit. I love talking to people. grandrapidsgold.com for tickets. You got $2 beers, $2 dogs, Thursdays and Fridays. It's awesome. Thank you. Come see the Gold play. All right, 2024 is going to be an excellent year. Got a feeling 24 is going to be a good year. Name the album. Name the band. The Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage wants you to get into a mortgage. Pre-approved this year. 231-332-6505. No matter where you are in the listening audience, reach out to Mario today. Let me back up. When it comes to Frank Fuss, I should also point out that you can, anybody, doesn't matter where you are in the audience, you can take advantage of Frank's services. The same goes for Mario with the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. 231-332-6505. Whether it's your first mortgage, maybe you've done this many, many times, Mario wants to help you out. Perhaps you just need to get some cash out of your home. The Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage, 231-332-6505. We're rolling on with more of Not the Best of the Eric Zane Show podcast. Hello, my friends. Welcome into the Eric Zane Show Patreon bonus podcast. We meet again for the 476th time. I think it might be off. I might be a show or two behind on Patreon. I don't know if it lines up completely, but I just say it, close enough, I just like keeping track, One of the few things I like to have order in my life, I guess. Numbers attached to it for some reason. I don't know. Welcome in. So, get this show done. Bust my ass. Get my shows done for time away. Work ahead. Produce some content that can be enjoyed. I'm featuring on tomorrow's Not the Best of the Eric Zane Show podcast. If I were to have any guests on the show back when I first started, I pulled content from like show number 9. And I think show number 9, I had Jim, my son, in. We were just shooting the shit with Jim, the raw dog himself. And that was when people that eventually became stalkers were working on this studio. Not all of them, Mike Lee's not a stalker. Stephen Hyde, not a stalker. Joe Moran, not a stalker or an asshole. These are all non-asshole people. The guy who put the flooring in, I forgot his name, not an asshole. Let's see, anybody else not an asshole? Andrea, no, she's an asshole. Pellerito, no, he's a huge asshole. Tom from Gun Lake, Troy Finholm, total asshole. Sebastian Pellerito, not an asshole. Good kid. That was what I pulled. I also have Go Josh Go, who is my compatriot at the Griffins game, the in-stands announcer, host, PA. Excuse me. He joined me. Josh and I did a radio show for about a week during that weirdo period of time on BBL. Julius announces he's leaving. We bring in replacement hosts to test the waters. Who's going to be the next co-host? And then, nothing ever happened. This is before Ben left. There was a period of time before Ben left where we were considering bringing in a third person. So we had all these people come in there and audition, and then that was it. Nothing ever happened. It was so annoying and weird. It was really, really great getting Sam to have that conversation with me today. I really interesting. Terrific talent. Nice lady. And she's very easy to talk to. That was always the thing that was appealing to me about how she would be a formidable co-host. Even to this day. If I had the opportunity to do a show with Sam, I'd be like, she's fucking fun, smart, very little. It doesn't do anything that's annoying or anything like that. Very few flaws. Not that I am without flaws. I'm not. And that's, what makes me ridiculous is the flaws. You want the flaws. But Adam S. is in here. He says, the interview with Sam was awesome. Yeah, she did not pull any punches. I think her time away from radio has made her, she's very, it didn't take much to get her to speak her mind on the deal. Ooh, man. My dear friend Megan sent me a terrific photograph because I see her commenting about, she sent me a picture. And boy, did she. Apparently one of her kids has a turtle, and the turtle is on the kitchen floor, and the child is holding the cat. I don't know if you can see it. It's grainy. The cat has a look on his or her face like, you have got to be kidding me. I cannot believe you are doing this to me. Thank you. You're right. That is funny. I'll post it and y'all can see it in the show notes. Chester the cat is pissed. Okay, speaking of pissed, Shannon Sharp, who is the co-host on the, I don't know the name of the show, Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp. They sit there and they argue about sports. Bayless, yesterday, after the Monday Night Football incident with a dude from the Bills who went down, he, while the whole world is like, oh man, I feel so bad. I hope he pulls through. My God, I'm so sad. Prayers for the family. Love him. And then, you've got the wonderful story about the charity taking off, which, by the way, now I guess it's well over $6 million for the kids, for the toys. Jesus. Skip Bayless was the guy he eventually did, he didn't, I don't want you to get the wrong idea. It wasn't like he said, forget this guy. Forget, how do you say his first name again? Hamlin? I know Hamlin's, is it Denard? What is it? DeMar. I can't believe I forgot his name. It wasn't like he was saying, forget DeMar Hamlin. What about the game? He didn't do that. But I think that when you have something as serious as this, if you have your choice, you can either say, hang on, there's a hair on my face that's bugging me. You can either say, oh my God, I'm so worried, and I just thoughts and prayers and love for the family. You got to throw the old prayers up, maybe the praying hands. You got to post that, or say nothing, and that's it. Those are pretty much your options. Even if you say, oh, man, I sure hope this young man recovers. The NFL says they want to reschedule, but I don't know how. How are they going to do this? And you start to elaborate about the outcome of the game or when they're going to play the game. Daisy just ran into the camera, if you're wondering what that was. Hang on. Any concern like that is going to look poorly, especially if you're the type of guy who always does this type of shit. There's no point in going 3 steps down the road here. All you want to do is pretty much just concern yourself with the health of the player. No one's thinking about the game. Skip Bayless was thinking about the game. I guess on the following day, Tuesday, or I don't know. The next day, Shannon Sharp wasn't on the show, and he's addressing it here now. Audio check, video check. This is a spectacular bit of drama. The opening monologue, Shannon Sharp, who looks like he's the size of a pro wrestler. I don't think they could make a suit that would fit this man with how muscly he is.
There's been a lot of speculation of why I wasn't on air yesterday, and I won't get into speculation or conjecture, innuendo, but I will say this.
He explains later, with no conjecture or innuendo, why he wasn't there.
Morning.
There's been a lot of speculation of why I wasn't on air yesterday, and I won't get into speculation or conjecture, innuendo, but I will say this. In watching that game on Monday night, what happened to DeMar Hamlin struck me a little different. As a brotherhood in the NFL, when injuries happen, when we know injuries are a part of the game, I've seen guys suffer ACLs and Achilles tear, but I've never seen anybody have to be revived and fight for their life.
Okay, let's not get bogged down with the fact that he just said Achilles tear. It's Achilles, but all right, never mind.
Suffer ACLs and Achilles tear, but I've never seen anybody have to be revived and fight for their life on the field. So it struck me a little differently because I remember seeing my brother paralyzed on the field temporarily, and he was able to regain focus. Skip tweeted something, and although I disagree with the tweet, and hopefully Skip would take it down, but I didn't want it.
Well, time out. I'm not going to take it down.
Okay.
Bayless jumps in. He had his hand up, which told the producers, let's go split screen on this, because he's about to interrupt him. He waited till he was visible for the viewer, and then started speaking before this man had finished his thoughts. Sharp kind of doesn't keep going. He stops what he's saying after Ding Dong interrupts him, which it's always bad.
Agree with the tweet, and hopefully Skip would take it down. But I didn't want it.
Well, time out. I'm not going to take it down because I stand by what I tweeted.
Skip, let me finish.
All right, okay.
Go ahead.
No, you go.
Go ahead, let's go, Jan.
Okay.
I mean, I can.
Jan must be off-screen producer.
not even get through a monologue without you interrupting me.
Well,
you could have came back, Skip.
Well, I thought,
Skip, just let me.
I didn't know you were going to bring up this.
I was just going to say, Skip, I didn't want to yesterday to get into a situation where DeMar Hamlin was the issue. We should have been talking about him and not get into your tweet. That's what I was going to do. But you can't even let me finish my opening monologue without you interrupting.
Okay. I was under the impression you weren't going to bring this up because nobody here had a problem with that tweet.
No. Clearly, the bosses wanted you to offer explanations, so clearly somebody.
No, they did not have. Nobody.
Let's go, Jen.
Oh. Okay. I just wish that Sharp would have, instead of very quickly getting emotional, I wish he would have calmly let that asshole finish his thought and then taken a breath and said, at any one point, if you ever think that it's okay to just interrupt someone in the middle of their thought, you need to banish those thoughts. Because I'm in the middle of trying to say something and you just jumping in like that, at its face, I mean, it's awkward, and it's so unbelievably rude for you to do that. Okay? Unless if you're talking to a moron who...
Just got the big black dick, because I know you want to.
Who's just stupid. Then it might be okay.
I'm a 50-year-old man doing what a 50-year-old man should.
Okay? But... Okay. And then Skip with the whole just carrying on like a fucking child. It's like, would you just fucking grow up? You're such a he's so wound up egotistically, Bayless. He has to jump in while the guy is doing his thing mid-thought. To me, it would have had a hell of a lot more staying power and been more watchable and wouldn't have been so incredibly awkward if he'd have let Sharp speak his mind. Because really, Bayless's only thing that he's done wrong here is that he talked about the game, what to do with the game, what are they going to do? And there's an argument to be made that though that kind of looks weird, he doesn't have the ability to read the room. He didn't say, I'm glad he's dead. He didn't do anything that bad. It was bad. It looked terrible. But at the end of the day, come on. He had potential to have something great there happen. His interruption made it fucked up. And Sharp's reaction to the interruption also made it fucked up. They both need to relax. Now, in the end, it's good for a view. But you could have gotten so much more out of that if Bayless would have just sat there and let the man finish. And if Bayless does interrupt, Sharp, if he just was able to measure that emotion to some degree, slow down, take a breath, and let that motherfucker shoot a shot, you could have had him. And you would have murdered him. And you know that he wanted to do that. Sharp wanted to do that because of how quickly he got wound up. He was trying his best to keep the car on the road. And all it took was one interruption. And then Sharp was... Skip. Okay, Jane. Devil voice, Shannon Sharp. There's always time for devil voice. Skip. Skip. Okay, fine. I'm trying to do my monologue, Skip, and you're interrupting me. Devil Voice needs a sponsor. If you want to sponsor Devil Voice, you can. You never know when it's going to hit. Send me an email, eric@ericzaneshow.com, and I can put you in charge of Devil Voice. Stevie says, dude on the right should have let him speak. Well, of course. Of course. Megan says he should have stuck his finger in his wide open mouth. You ever do that when someone yawns? You stick your finger in their mouth? Oh, that'll wreck someone's day. That's a big hit in this house. I shouldn't say that. If Diana does it and I do it, oh, does she get pissed? My God. Rob says should have given him 600 seconds. Which, by the way, today on the free podcast, it boggles my mind when it unfolds. And it will be of no surprise to any of you that there was drama on the chat today. And while everyone was enjoying the interview with Sam, two people weren't, because they weren't listening. You know what they were doing? They were arguing with each other. And it's I don't even bring it up when it's going on. It's like, we've got a great moment here. I haven't talked to this person in 4 years. And Kenney and Amanda are fighting while everyone else is enjoying the show. Speaking of biting your tongues, Amanda says, hey, ask her why we're not friends. Ask her why she unfriended me. Now, that in itself is ridiculous. It's ridiculous to even suggest that I would ever consider bringing that up out of the blue. What type of a narcissistic vibe are we putting off when, while someone you don't even know is on my show and we're having a conversation and you're suggesting I ask her why she's no longer friends with you? That's silly. So I ignored it. Kenney calls her out on it. And now it's like, well, now don't do that. You see, you're giving in to, you're doing what we always talk about. You're now it's like between these two. So Kenney calls her out, which that's not going to go well. We've seen it a million times. Rather than it would have ended there with Amanda offering the great suggestion that I ask her about her Facebook being whatever, no longer Facebook friend. No one says anything to Amanda. Kenney does. And now these two are going back and forth. They're fighting with each other. It's like Kenney, Amanda, back and forth, back and forth. And it's like, oh my God, what is going on? And so then I'm sitting there looking, trying to see if anyone has a question for Sam. And I see there's like 20 comments, 18 of which are Kenney and Amanda going back and forth. And I'm trying to well, maybe someone has a question for Sam. I could look, but oh no, I have to look at the competition between these two. Okay, well, I guess that's that. So that was kind of silly. Maybe I'll just mention it for the 700th or 800th time. Let's kind of focus on, the fun things that we do together. Let's not pick fights with each other. No one really wants to see the argument between Amanda and Kenney, do they? I mean, maybe I'm getting it wrong. This all might be a reason for these two to have a show. If they did a show, maybe I'm the one who's messed up. They should probably launch a podcast and they can just have these discussions. I know I would at least give it a 2 or 3 episode chance to see if there is some magic there. There may be. But anyway, I was having to contend with all of that while I was trying to talk with Sam. Megan says, I'm not going to lie, Eric. I do love watching people fight as long as I can stay out of it. Okay, well, you see, there you go. These two fighting with each other. But, but from my perspective, it's a little bit, it's like, oh, God, what am I doing wrong here? I must be so boring and so shitty that these two are carrying on their own show within the show. I would like it very much if we could just, I could do the show and you could interact with what's going on the show rather than a war between each other. I don't know. Am I stepping out of bounds here? Have I said anything that's out of line? I don't think so. I think I've kept it above board with my concerns. I think if these two are going to have the I don't want to say gall or audacity, but the forwardness to, hey, let's fight between each other. Well, I should have the ability, be given the opportunity to say, I sure wish you'd stop doing that. Maybe. Why don't you guys text each other? Save it for a private conversation between you two. Now, Kenny says it was not a fight. Well, there was one point in that where Amanda said, whatever, Kenny, I'm done talking about it. Now, I don't know about you, but where I come from, those are usually words surrounding some type of disagreement. I know you're not going to see it my way. I've resigned myself to that. Gone are the days when I can attempt to make points and are actually met with, hey, I can see where you're coming from. That's okay. But, yeah, it'd make me happier if that wasn't going on. Thank you. I appreciate you. I would love to be able to, say these things on the show. And then just once be met with yeah, I get that. I get that, Eric Zane. No problem. Duly noted. Or, fair enough. Fair enough. Does that happen? Never. It's always heels dug in. Standoffishness. I'm right, you're wrong. We need to throw support behind a bus driver in the great state of Michigan. The headline reads, lawsuit. School bus driver accused of beating 7th grader and biting her face. Okay, it's well beyond accusal of beating 7th grader and biting her face. She beat the 7th grader and bit her face. My God. Let's get into this. We have video. We have audio. Holy shit. Let's check it out. Listen to that. Holy shit.
Bit her in her face. There is no justification.
A bus driver attacks a student, a 12-year-old girl.
Well, that remains to be seen if there's no justification. We don't know the facts.
Girl beaten and bitten. We first showed you
these kids.
This shocking cell phone video in October. The bus was leaving from Carver STEM Academy on Detroit's west side.
All right, can we get past the whole blurring the kids' faces out? Because when you blur the kid for I guess if they're under 18, any video you see, the faces are always blurred out. Yeah, but that's wrecking the joy of what we're seeing here. When you blur the fucking faces out, okay? We can't see this teacher beating the shit, rightfully, out of this 7th grader and biting her face. This needs to be seen.
Back then, the child's mom first saw this video on social media.
The evilness in her eyes that I seen while she was...
Saw, not seen. How many times do we have to go through this? Saw. The evil that I saw.
Attacking her, I just felt so helpless, and I just felt so sorry for my child.
The 7th grader suffered a concussion and needed shots for that bite wound.
Shots? Did she have rabies? Really?
I'm mistrusting of people now. I don't even feel safe with her being in school.
Since then, the family's attorney, Lillian Diallo, said...
Boy, mom's a little peanut there. She's teeny weeny. I think she's like smaller than Joe C. Look at her.
As that child, she's not doing well.
It's a hard thing for a 12-year-old to process because we're supposed to protect them.
This week, a full court press.
Uh-oh.
Diallo filing a lawsuit against Detroit.
Okay, so now I think this is the kid here whose back is to us. She's trying to fend off the bus driver who's attacking.
Public Schools and Trinity Transportation, who is contracted with the district for bus services.
And unfortunately, the only way things change sometimes, forget the laws, when you have to pay.
Diallo says it's unclear if the young girl approached...
I like that, though, by this person who's speaking on behalf of this kid. Forget the law, you gotta pay. All right, now that's something I can get behind.
The bus driver first, after the driver...
Hold on, let me back it up.
...told her to district for bus services.
And I'm supposed to protect them.
This week, a full court press. Diallo filing a lawsuit against Detroit Public Schools and Trinity Transportation, who is contracted with the district for bus services.
And unfortunately, the only way things change sometimes, forget the laws, when you have to pay.
Diallo says it's unclear if the young girl approached the bus driver first.
Okay, now if they said it's unclear, we don't know yet. So they're doing the whole cart before the horse thing. I always side with the bus driver, no matter what, because if you go to school and you take the bus, it is it's expected of every student to fuck with the bus driver. It probably is written in school code of conduct. No smoking on campus, no drinking, no public displays of affection on campus. Fuck with the bus driver.
After the driver allegedly told her to sit her A-word down.
Sit your ass down. That's what she told her. Sit your ass down.
Regardless, she says it's irrelevant to what happened next.
And then I guess the kid, they don't talk about it here. The kid then starts lecturing the bus driver about using bad language. Now, let's be honest here. A 7th grader growing up these days, they use that language. Where the bus driver, in fact, kids are so advanced these days that the bus driver would use that word in the context of sit yo ass down. And 99% of 7th graders would use it in a different context and say, hey, put it in my ass. That's a fact.
And how you know that the little girl was not in the wrong? She didn't get suspended or disciplined in any way, shape, or form.
All right. Well, that is important. There's no question. But I still need to hear from the bus driver.
Initially, back in October, that bus driver, she was suspended, facing being fired.
Uh-oh.
It's unclear what her status is now.
She's probably been given a raise.
Unfortunately, Trinity Transportation and Detroit Public Schools did not get back with us in time for this story. Jessica Dupnack, Fox 2 News.
All right. Interesting. Very interesting. Oh, I love her hair. Look at that hair. Okay? To me, the length of that lady's hair is pretty much perfect. And the curl with it, you know, you start out as the weight of the hair pulls the top half of her head hair straight because of the weight of the hair. And then you have those gradual curling things going on there. That, to me, is like my favorite hairstyle currently. Diana, lately, has been curling her hair that way. And I just love it. It's just flat out beautiful. All right. So that's what's going on with that. Brawl on the bus leads to the bus driver. See, sometimes the bus drivers just snap. And I think that on the school bylaws, it should say, yeah, it's okay. You are expected to harass the bus driver. However, the bus driver does have the ability to retaliate. Okay? And then that will kind of keep things on the up and up. All right? Now, if you're a type of person who drives a bus for the school, at one point you might be able to parlay those skills into other modes of transportation. Case in point, this gentleman from a few years ago, he took his skills as a bus driver in the schools, and then he stepped up and started driving for the transportation system in Cleveland, Ohio. Some of you know where this is going. This is the world-famous Cleveland bus driver. You're going to jail now. You're going to jail where some chick was fucking with the bus driver, and she hit him. And he announced, you're going to jail, and you're going to oblivion, because that's where he punched her to. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the Cleveland bus driver.
Oh, shit. Nigga, I dog that house. Look like somebody that sliced your face up. Oh, you motherfucker.
Okay, so they're talking shit. Someone on the bus is recording. Your face looked like someone sliced your face up. That's a horrible thing to say to the chick. You see the silhouette of the young lady right here.
Look like somebody that sliced your face up. Oh, you motherfucker. Your face up.
Okay, so everybody's having a good time laughing about it. They're giving each other shit. They're just talking shit. You know? Okay, she hit him. Oh no. Oh, no.
I'm gonna treat you like a man.
Well, that is not right what that man did. In no way, shape, or form is that appropriate. She hits him. It's his job not to tell her she's going to jail and then throw a crazy, what do you call it? Shukaroyan from Street Fighter? I don't even know the term. This ridiculous roundhouse.
You going to jail?
Oh, no! Shoryuken, that's it. It was a crazy-ass Shoryuken.
You going to jail?
Oh, no!
Going to jail? 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 Jail?
Those kids are lucky. Those kids are lucky that guy wasn't their bus driver, or that person, the bus driver, knew about this, or maybe they did. Maybe that's how it unfolded. My God. Nick says, give him a public service medal of honor. Maureen says, is the bus driver a cannibal or something? Stevie says, listen to that screaming. Chris says, I seen it. Megan says, was the bus driver a raccoon? Chris says, human mouths are filthy. Maureen says, the girl's family is going to own Detroit Public Schools and Trinity Transportation. Unrelated, Stevie asks, did you see Governor Whitmer's swearing-in ceremony? She looked incredible, is what she writes. Of course she did. She's a wonderful lady. She's a terrific governor. She looked majestic. Stevie says, such a power move with the pink. Pink color is what she looked like. There's what she wore. It was sweet. It was great. One more thing we need to get to. The community I live in is Ottawa County, Michigan. I think I need to start attending the Ottawa County monthly meetings that they have, Ottawa County Commission or whatever it is. And what you have there is the county commission. They just had a organization called Ottawa County Impact. And Ottawa County Impact we're promoting a number of candidates to win office for the county commission. And they did. And Ottawa County Impact, those are the dirtiest of the dirty. Those are the far-right election deniers, COVID deniers, vaccine deniers. That's what Ottawa County Impact is. They backed a number of candidates to win a majority in the Ottawa County Commission and won. Oh, boy. With that, they just began their tenure, I guess, their terms. And meeting number 1 takes place. Now, they had a hired position in there called the Ottawa County Administrator. The administrator answers to the commission. The commission wanted to put their own guy into that spot. There already was a commissioner. And so that's not an elected position. It's a hired position. The county decides who that's going to be. They had a guy in there, and they had a health director, too. Well, the first thing they do is in their first meeting, they decide that they no longer need to have the required amount of votes, I think, in order to make something stick, I guess. They only need a simple majority. Before, you needed like a larger majority. And they also, what they did was, this first meeting is getting set to start just the other day. And they very quickly, though it wasn't on the docket for the meeting, they put it on the docket without anybody knowing it, because they changed the rules as to how they can do business, and they can do that. They fired the county administrator and replaced him with John Gibbs. Now, John Gibbs is the guy that he's a Republican. He beat Peter Meyer in District 3 in Kent County in the primary as a Republican. And then so he was taking on Hillary Scholten, the Democrat, and should have won because that's supposed to be as a Republican stronghold. But in fact, it's been like decades since a Democrat held that district. And Gibbs lost to Scholten. So that was ugly. This was also the guy, Gibbs. He was staunch on, anti-abortion, so that hurt him. Also, what hurt him is he was a lot of anti-Muslim rhetoric and a lot of the usual election fraud bullshit. And it was revealed getting close to the election that a number of years ago, he posted that women shouldn't have been allowed to vote. Just all sorts of shit on this guy. And he got hammered. So he goes away. Well, He wanders over to Ottawa County, where it's even more conservative. Basically, everyone in this county is a piece of shit. All right? This is as red. If that Kent County was red, which I guess it isn't because they just put a Democrat in charge, Ottawa County would never happen. I mean, it was like 99% voted for Tudor Dixon. They bring in John Gibbs to be the administrator. They fired the other guy without cause, which means they have to pay him $210,000. That's 12 months severance, and give the guy 12 months of health insurance. And the base salary for the job, as I said, $210,000. Okay. So Gibbs comes into the meeting and sits down. He's like, hey, guys, how you doing? Well, there's more to it because Ottawa County in 2018 somehow managed, the county commission managed to install something that you see in a lot of communities and in workplaces because it's 2023, diversity, equity, and inclusion arrangements or offices. A lot of times people put these in the... Oops. Hang on. That was the Zenith. Oh, it just stopped on its own. It might go back. I didn't even have to bash it. It just stopped. That's crazy. Gibbs shows up, a black guy, and says, we're dissolving the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Office. Well, I don't know if he did it, but the county commission did that. They wiped out that branch of government, that those pocket of people that they have to make sure that, everybody's given a fair shake. They said, no, we don't need that anymore. And they just brought on a black guy. Now, if you're a black guy, how can you look at yourself in the mirror knowing on the day that you start working for these pieces of shit, they've wiped out the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Office? Oh, my God. Me, the honkiest of honkies. Well, I guess, I don't know. Some people tell me that I can't really even call myself white because I'm half Armenian. I don't know. But I consider myself the whitest of white. How can I, the whitest of white guys, say that that's a terrible plan to get rid of the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Office? The organization that makes sure everybody is given fair opportunity to thrive both in the home, in the workplace, advancements in career. The county commission oversees that. They bring in a black guy who's like, yeah, wipe them out. Huh? Gets better. They decided also, in addition to wiping out the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Office on a day that they bring in the black guy, have announced that they have a new slogan that they use in county materials. Like if you were to say, let's say you're want to open up a business in Ottawa County and you petition the commission and they say, all right, well, here's all you need to know about parameters opening your business, and you get it. And it says, Ottawa County, where you belong. That was like the slogan on the printed material. They decided to get rid of that. Bring in a black guy, wipe out Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Office, fire the other guy. You got a bunch of radical right-wing scumbags leading the charge. Let's eliminate that it says where you belong, and instead they're going with where freedom rings. That's a thing. These crazy fucking truck drivers with fuck Joe Biden flags, they're all about patriotism and freedom, and they offer none of those things. It's where freedom rings for whites. And this is on the day they bring the black guy in. Oh, my God. Holy shit. Chris writes, where some of you belong. Megan, I see in all caps you wrote, and fired all of the employees on the spot, diversity, inclusion, and equity. Why? Did you write that before I revealed it? Are we going to have a talk? Or had I already revealed that? Are we getting ahead of your old pal Eric Zane? She says it's possible. Chris says she didn't. Megan says, I think I waited. I don't know, Megan. Seems a little fishy to me. Excitable? Energetic? I love it. But just remember, we don't want to tip off Eric's stories. Now, you get special consideration for obvious reasons. A, you're one of the greatest people that's ever walked God's green earth. You rarely have anything that makes me even raise even the slightest eyebrow. And there is a huge financial windfall coming my way from Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid, and EV. So there will be nothing more said about that. On my part. That's okay. You get what's known as a pass because you have the juice. Nick says it was after. All right, good. We're all on the same page. Linda says if freedom rings, then let every prisoner out of jail. Well, I don't know about that. I don't want that either. So as this unfolds, now I really want to go to these meetings because there's nothing I like better than rubbing their noses in shit. And you know, the public is allowed to speak in these meetings. And I want to formulate a concise, long-term troll. I want to walk into those and see them roll their eyes in disgust that I'm here, that I'm there. That's what I want. I want to cover this exact same story the way they covered it on the local news. All right. They actually featured a story about it. So we'll get to that. Michelle DeSalms, I love her so much. Oh, my God. It's fantastic.
With the latest on that shakeup in Ottawa County today, a new slate of conservative commissioners ousted the county's administrator, replacing him with former Republican congressional candidate John Gibbs. They also fired the county health administrator and appointed Nathaniel Kelly to that position.
That is because of masking. I forgot about that part of it. This is all a reckoning. The crazy folks, one office, and the people who made masking recommendations, like with the health department here, wiped them out. They're done.
The board also voted to close down the county's Office of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, which was created in 2018. And they changed the county motto from where you belong to where freedom rings.
The irony there is incredible. No more is it where you belong. We're going to take shit away and fire people. On the day they wipe out the diversity, equity, and inclusion branch of government, they take away where you belong. Now it's where freedom rings. I cannot believe the optics of this.
All of these changes happening today without public notice. News 8's Amanda Porter's in studio now with...
It might as well just say no blacks allowed. And it happened on a day when they bring in a black guy. And the black guy's like, yeah, this is great.
Reaction to all this, Amanda?
The commissioners behind today's changes said this is what the voters wanted, but those who spoke
now that we can agree on, they do.
Against them said what happened at today's meeting could have negative repercussions in the county for a long time.
Major changes in Ottawa County's government. Newly elected commissioners firing and replacing several key employees during their first meeting of the new year.
Wow.
Those changes not on the agenda when the meeting started.
Folks have reached out to me who, have expressed shock, basically shock that this could happen and this could happen in this way.
Commissioners who were backed by the far-right Political Action Committee, Ottawa Impact, were behind today's changes. They say they're
See this asshole? This is a freedom fighter right here. This cocksucker in the cowboy hat and this stupid shit with the baseball head and the coat and the ugly chick. That's Ottawa County Impact.
Doing what voters elected them to do.
This was a culmination of a lot of people involved, a lot of voters. There were a groundswell of votes that I think led us to this point, and the results of our elections this year. So it's I know something that's never really happened at this level before in Ottawa County.
This type of shit makes me want to get involved. Okay? Because, if this happens anywhere else, I don't have a dog in the fight. Well, I live here.
Change was to make former GOP congressional candidate John Gibbs the county's new administrator.
This motherfucker's face is so goddamn punchable. Jesus Christ, I just want to kill him.
Congratulations to all of you on the board for your wonderful election. It shows that the people are still in charge. The founding fathers are looking down right now and very proud of what's happening right now.
They also implemented a new motto and got rid of the Department of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. Its presence already removed from the county's website. Those against the move, including the group Progressive Lakeshore, say it moves the county backwards. In a statement, they said DEI initiatives make communities more welcome for all and expand the talent pool for our business community.
Correct.
This commission has moved our county back 50 years in one fell swoop.
Let's just say, for the sake of argument, you're looking big picture. If some company that wants to employ 5,000 people and put it in the center of the county because they like the land that they want to buy or any other reason that would make sense for them, but the CEO is gay or black or transgender or Asian or something like that, and then you realize that this happened, well, they're not going to want to fucking set up shop here.
One commissioner also voicing his disappointment tonight.
Takes a lot of confidence and faith away. We had done a lot of work around diversity, equity, and inclusion. Obviously, that department was removed today, and the director was removed.
Along with the obvious benefits of equity and inclusion policies, many large companies like to do business in communities with strong programs in those areas.
See?
We asked
That's what your old pal Eric Zane just said.
The new county administrator how getting rid of the office that handles those issues might impact business.
Well, they're going to want to invest here because they can get high-quality employees, and their employees are going to have a high quality of life.
Okay, look at, he's either got a booger here. I think it's, if we're going to see John Gibbs' face, he's got to have some of that microfiber in his back pocket to wipe that shine off his fucking face, because it actually looks like snot's pouring out of his nose.
Great Ottawa County here, so that's why companies come here. We're going to
okay, hang on a second.
She continue to improve.
What the fuck just happened?
Today, a new slate of
disappointment tonight.
Takes a lot of confidence and faith away. We had done a lot of work around diversity, equity, and inclusion.
Sorry. I know this is repeating. Video's acting wonky.
Was removed today, and the director was removed.
Along with the obvious benefits of equity and inclusion policies, many large companies like to do business in communities with strong programs in those areas. We asked the new county administrator how getting rid of the office that handles those issues might impact business.
Well, they're going to want to invest here because they can get high-quality employees.
So she's not listening to his question. How would... posing the question she just posed to him, and he said, oh, no, he doesn't even pay attention to that. He said, oh, no, they're going to want to invest here because they get high-quality employees. Well, they can get high-quality employees anywhere, John. But the difference is you've now very noticeably wiped out this thing that could impact things for the reasons that we just talked about.
And our employers are going to have a high quality of life living.
So he's not even paying attention to that part of the question.
In our great Ottawa County here, so that's why companies come here. We're going to actually continue to improve that. We're going to continue to improve the quality of life. We're going to be working with the sheriff's department.
This is a black chick interviewing him. I wish she'd say, as a sister to a brother, does it look strange that all of this is happening, wiping out of diversity, equity, and inclusion, and you're black? Tell me how you can reconcile that in your black brain.
Working with everybody to make sure housing is affordable and all the other items on the agenda.
The Ottawa County Board also hired General Counsel Kalman Legal Group, which was involved in high-profile pandemic and LGBTQ cases in our state.
Wait a minute, let me back that up.
In the studio, Amanda, pandemic and legal group. County Board also hired
on the agenda.
The Ottawa County Board also hired General Counsel Kalman Legal Group, which was involved in high-profile pandemic and LGBTQ cases.
Yes, on the wrong side of those cases.
In our state. In the studio, Amanda Porter, News 8.
Oh, my God. That's fucked up. This is terrible. This is a real shit show. It's interesting that the story took hold throughout the whole state, and in a lot of ways, in a lot of cases, in resources that are websites nationally and around the world about this story. That this all happened in the scope of one meeting. My God. You've got to be kidding me. Chris says the guy doesn't even live in Ottawa County, John Gibbs. That's right, he doesn't. Rob says, I kind of want to move there for this and the lake effect snow. Makes Congress look organized. Oh, my God. Let's see. What else we got here? Not on the agenda. All sorts of shady going on in the story. Rob says, have all the black reporters on this story. Linda says, I may never go to Ottawa County again, assholes. I kind of want to get involved. I want to get involved. I want to talk about it. Hell, I want to run. Just to rub everybody's nose and shit, and I'd win. You know I'd win. I think there's some kind of laws about being on the radio and or television and you're running for public office. But I don't think that applies to podcasting. That would be so much fun to follow that story arc of me running for county commission. I'd like to run, but run as an independent, though, with no party affiliation whatsoever. Oh, my God, would I love that. I would go to the meetings dressed like this with B.O. I would actually not wash my ass for like a whole week just before the meetings. You know? Maureen says do it for the show. Honestly, it'd be great for the show, but I would be doing it because I want to do it. I'm going to have to think about that. I for sure want to go to these meetings just to pay attention, lay of the land, follow up on the stories. Not just go in there guns a-blazing, just watch for a little bit and follow the agenda of what they're doing. Linda says she'd be my campaign and communications manager. You're hired. You are hired. Okay, can you imagine if in 10 years I've dominated the county commission, I won a local election for Michigan Congress, I become the governor. Can you imagine President Zane? And they're going back on the attack ads, my opponents, saying, in this podcast, you said you wanted to shoot someone in the cock. Rob says, you're not going to do it. How's that book coming along? Fuck. You're right. You're absolutely right. But it sure is fun to think about, you know? Can you imagine, though, if someone won as an independent and has no party affiliation and they stroll into the office and they have no allegiance to anyone? Just the meetings that would take place where all these asshole Democrats and Republicans would then be trying to kiss my ass and win favor as I look them in the face and say, nah, I don't think so. Nah, we're not going to do that. Nah, I don't care what you think. I'm going to veto that. Thank you. Have a nice day. Fun to think about. Probably never happened. And a pause in the action. The action of Not the Best of the Eric Zane Show podcast. Thank you to Impact Power Sports. In fact, this show originates in the Impact Power Sports studio. Go to their website, impactpowersportsmi.com, to get a look at some of the fantastic toys that you're going to buy for your, I don't know, up north adventure, whatever it is you do. Some of you hillbillies like side-by-sides, motorcycles, I don't know, maybe the old e-bike. That's right, the electric bike. But what they're really proud of is their affiliation with Yamaha golf carts. Yamaha golf carts are the best in the business. You don't have to live on a golf cart to want to own one of these. Tooling around the property or the home or the neighborhood. My God. Impact Power Sports has them. They're in Rockford, Michigan. Head to their website for directions on how to get there. ImpactPowersportsMI.com. And if you already have toys, I'm not talking about the type of toys that Amanda sticks inside of herself. I'm talking about like what I was mentioning earlier. They repair these things. Full service. Full service. You know what I mean. They fix the shit. Impact Power Sports in Rockford, Michigan. All right. Let's continue on with more from Not the Best of the Eric Zane Show podcast. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome into the Eric Zane Show Patreon bonus podcast. Boy, it's just like one thing after another today. On the free podcast, I was messing around with a couple of important things. And I think for whatever reason, what I usually do is I hit a certain button and everything that comes through this whole thing that you're watching or listening to gets recorded. Well, for some reason, it didn't do that. Oh, my God. So then I had to go and to my Twitch feed and actually, for 2 hours and 10 minutes, roll my show onto an audio file in like real time in order to get the audio podcast. Some of you that might get the audio podcast, you're like, oh, yeah, normally it's like 10:15, 10:30. It's up and running, but I just now got it up because I had to like record it in real time because there was a technical issue. So that was a drag. All the while, I'm preparing for Smarter Than a Former Drug Dealer trivia. I get Dale on the phone, and okay, this is one of these moments where sometimes Dale talks too much and gives me way too many details. And when he gets really wound up, he really starts pushing his voice hard because he's excited. And I had to tell him, I go, okay, you gotta dial it back. I actually had to stop. I didn't include this in the audio podcast. It was in the audio video one. I go, hey, buddy, because he was driving he was pushing the phone to its limits because he was so wound up with the story that he was giving me way too many details about, that it started to like clip the sound. So like he actually was defeating the mechanism of the phone so that every other word you couldn't hear it. And I had to say, okay. And I could tell that was happening. I go, okay, back off the phone. You don't need to shout. You're killing your voice. It's already fucked up. You can't. And but what I wanted to say was, let's not unpack all of this right now. You're just giving me every detail of what could have been a pretty interesting story, but he's every damn detail. Oh my God. Ryan says, Eric, you don't have to do that. You could have gotten the audio a different way. Well, if there was, I didn't know about it. If there were, I maybe, but I'm not aware of it. So perhaps we should have a off-podcast conversation, Ryan, and you can help me with that one otherwise. But I did get it up. I got it posted. It was a bit of a pain in the ass. It was like one thing after another. Maureen was watching the Smarter Than a Former Drug Dealer trivia game. And she says, oh, I couldn't tell you were bothered. And I'm sure she's being sarcastic. I was like, dude, come on. You got to quit this. You can't. You can't do all that. You can't give me all that information like that. You can just dial it back. So though I was having technical issues with his phone because he was screaming into the phone or whatever the hell the problem was. I don't know. But so then I'm kind of wrapping that up. And then I had this unbelievable feeling of fatigue hit me in the face. And I'm like, I got to go lay down. I laid down, and I lay down for literally 5 minutes. And I said, I've got too much shit to do. I cannot do this. So I fucking got right back up. Oh, my God. Okay, now, as we get this show started, just before I started this show, I checked out the live feed of the Ottawa County live stream. And I think they might have just finished up. I think they did. That had to have been within minutes ago. The Ottawa County Commission, this is the organization I told you about that they went in and fucking shook everything up. And they took over the Ottawa County Commission. They wiped out the diversity, equity, and inclusion branch of their whatever it is, their county offices. They brought in John Gibbs. Let's bring in the black guy and wipe out diversity, equity, and inclusion. And he doesn't bat an eye. He's like, yeah, sure. Let's change the name from Where You Belong to Where Freedom Rings. So, and then this is all brought about because of mask mandates and shit like that and COVID. So now here they are. They got this. They're the big swinging dick on the block now. And everybody is following the meeting today. At least they were. And it just finished. So we're talking 4 hours-ish of this damn thing. And it was everybody gets 3 minutes. And that's too much. That is too much. Okay, this is the next thing that they need to do. They need to go ahead. I mean, if they're going to be dealing with shit like this, they need to shorten these meetings. That's the first thing I would do if I was elected. And among circumstances similar, I wanted to take back freedom or whatever the fuck. The first meeting where everyone is allowed 3 minutes, I would say, okay, We are doing away with that. You are no longer allowed 3 minutes. You are allowed 5 words. You don't walk up to the podium. I point to you. Go. And if you say your name, those count as words against you. So I point to you. You say your piece. Done. And then I have the cops nearby. And if any of these motherfuckers say anything more than 5 words, you actually grab them and throw them out. You have teams of like stormtroopers who are grabbing people if they say more than 5 words. You say more than 5 words, you're out. You break the rules, you're done. That way we can get out of here in a timely manner. None of this 3 minutes bullshit. I saw one asshole get up there. We played it on the free podcast. The guy was like, I just want to say congratulations on your efforts to bring back freedom to this county. We're so pleased that you're here spreading the good word and praising the Almighty. Thank God for you. Oh, fuck. Hey, I like baby Jesus just as much as the next guy. Baby Jesus absolutely does not want me to weed. He does not want to be involved in the mess that is local government. He's like, fuck you. I'm changing water into wine and parting the Red Sea and fucking making people speak in tongues. I don't want to be involved in your horse shit. What the fuck? Oh, thank you for following the good word, and we're burning books in Jamestown. Oh, shit. So, I don't know the latest from this meeting. You know, the news, they have to like kind of glean all the results out of it. Ottawa County Commission holds first meeting since shakeup. Oh, my God. Okay. At the very least, it's entertaining. And I had talked about wanting to go to these meetings. Well, but I can't go if they're at 9. And I'm not going to go if they're 4 hours long. I want to be entertained, damn it. Audio check, video check.
Overflow crowd in Ottawa County 1 week after the new Board of Commissioners fired multiple top officials and shut down the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Department.
We've heard from a long line of...
This guy here is wearing 2 masks. Okay, you know they all want to beat the shit out of this guy.
Residents who support the new board and those against the new board. Target 8 investigator Ken Kolker is live where that meeting is underway right now. Ken?
By the way, if the dude with the turtleneck, Tom Hillen, showed up at that meeting, they'd kick his ass. Go.
Good afternoon. Even before the board got to its actual agenda, this meeting grew contentious with an overflow crowd filling another room. It started with an opening prayer greeted by a handful of hecklers. The meeting is the first since the January 3rd.
I don't think you can do that, can you? I mean, I guess you can do whatever you want, but I thought that you're supposed to keep church and state separate, right?
Session that led to a huge shakeup in county government. The hiring of John Gibbs is...
This guy here in the gray, white, blue, he's the one who's in charge. His name's Joe Moss. He's the one who 16 months ago started this whole movement, and he was very successful in doing so. By the way, gray-haired chick is hot.
County administrator, replacing the county health officer with a vocal opponent of COVID masks and social distancing, the closing of the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Department. That all came about after voters elected Republicans endorsed by the Conservative Political Action Committee, Ottawa Impact. This morning, about 42 speakers addressed the board, some applauding its recent moves.
42 times 3, that's how many minutes? 40, 80, 126 minutes plus time to get to and from the podium. Fuck. That's more than 2 hours right there.
Critical questioning what they called a lack of transparency. Among those who commented, Kristen Megan Kelly, whose husband was appointed as health officer.
I come here today to request that the current Deputy Administrative Health Officer, Marsha Manzarek, be removed from her position as outlined through an administrative hearing showcasing her statements and actions made during the pandemic showcase her incompetence to execute properly the duties of the office, official misconduct, and habitual neglect of duty.
It must be interesting when you say, I demand that you get her to step down. And they go, no, we're not going to do that.
Thank you for your courage to stand behind your campaign promises and for the people who overwhelmingly voted for you.
Ugh.
When I was in college studying history, I can remember writing a paper on Nazi Germany and feeling an overwhelming sense of sadness when confronted with the reality.
What's that called when everything goes back to Nazis? Godwin's Law?
That 6 million Jewish people were murdered by their government. I often wondered how the German people could allow such atrocities. Today, I no longer wonder. Yesterday's persecution of the Jewish population is today's persecution of anyone who goes against a new world order and a tragic repetition of history.
I think she's suggesting that. Is she suggesting that wearing the mask is, or whatever? I mean, first of all, no one's doing that, and it was forever ago. Who gives a shit? Is she suggesting that when people had to wear a stupid mask, that's the same as what Jewish people in Nazi Germany and Poland and fucking Hungary, Romania had to deal with? Holy shit.
Placing skilled administrators with unqualified friends and family is undemocratic.
Or is she saying the way it is now is like, I don't even know what the fuck is going on.
Shuttering our DEI office is unbelievably regressive, damaging our reputation as a community, and diminishing local businesses' efforts to attract global talent to our area.
Okay, so these are people that hate the new regime.
The new board members here had to sign a contract with Ottawa Impact. My question is, who are they serving, the citizens or Ottawa Impact?
Aha!
You understand what I'm saying?
And now, what's often weird about these is they're allowed to speak, but the board doesn't engage them. So they just kind of, it's pointless. It's a goddamn dog and pony show. What is the point of that?
I don't know why. How can you serve two? Because this is a public entity.
We'll have much more starting at 4 on News 8. For now, live in Ottawa County, Ken Kolker, News 8.
Ken, thank you. Last night in Allendale, Ottawa County's new legal team.
Okay, yeah, this is the school boards have also been infiltrated by these fucking maniacs.
Was at the center of a contentious school board meeting. It was the first time the Allendale School Board convened with its newly elected members, including 2 members supported by Ottawa Impact. That includes Corey Mango, the new school board president, and Liz Ramey, who proposed removing the school board from the Michigan Association of School Boards. She also is accusing the association of not protecting parents' rights and pushing an agenda.
This organization does not align with principles of protecting parental rights.
Yeah, if we want our kids to be sick fucking racists, we should be allowed to do that.
As evidenced by their passing of G-5.20 by stating they recommend parents not be able to opt out their children if parents demonstrate concern over curriculum.
That discussion.
So if they teach critical race theory, that's what she doesn't like that. She hates black people. She might as well just say, fuck all black people.
Was tabled by the board. Ramey then moved on to her next proposal, replacing the district's longtime legal counsel with the Coleman Legal Group. That's the same group recently hired by the Ottawa County Board of Commissioners. Longtime board members criticized Ramey.
Okay, that Coleman Legal Group, or whatever. The guy who's the lawyer in charge of that group is the father of one of the 2 guys that are running Ottawa County Impact. What?
Amy for only giving them less than 24 hours to consider her proposals.
Try and shove a law firm through, that's not transparent. If you think it is, your integrity is very weak.
Oh, shit.
In the end, the board voted 4-3 approving Coleman.
This fucking A.
Hey, everybody, I'm standing
These
here.
Assholes. We're surrounded by assholes around here. Holy shit. Oh. It's okay. It'll all work out in the long run. It'll all die down. man. Stevie says the new board is not a representation of the county as a whole. I don't know about that. I think it's a large enough of the amount of the county do think that way. Hence, that's why they were voted in. You know? By the way, that Coleman Legal Group, those are also the fucking idiots that represented. Remember the stupid barber during COVID? He's like, everybody's going to get a fucking haircut. A piece of shit in Owasso, right near where Maureen lives. Remember that guy? You're going to cut your freedom hair. I'm going to give you a Liberty bowl cut. I'm fucking Patriot haircut. Come on now, let's get the Patriot haircut, motherfucker. Ah, fuck. Shit. Is that guy dead yet? Oh no. Linda writes, Maureen gets her haircut there. Whoa. She's going to kick your ass over that one. Yes, that's a sister war. Yeah, come on in, Maureen. Have a seat. Let's get your haircut. I'm Carl Mankey. Maureen's good to see you again, motherfucker. Give me 5, Maureen. All right. If there was ever any doubt that the athletes that play hockey are the toughest, just keep this story in mind. Hockey, I've often said, is the toughest sport because the players play when they're hurt, more than any other sport. Blake Wheeler got hit right in the nut with a puck. And he played with a ruptured testicle. He finished the game. What's involved with a ruptured testicle? Does the puck hit your testicle and then it comes flying out of your dick? My God. Any dude who's ever been hit in the balls, you know how that is. It's just, even the lightest, most glancing blow, that'll knock you back a period of time. And based on the, squareness of the hit, the speed, the velocity, the impact, all that shit. There was a moment in time I was in the dorms at Merrill Hall. And we were throwing a tennis ball down the hall, and someone threw it. And no bounces. It hit me square right in the balls. And I'll never forget the intensity of that pain. That was a tennis ball. We're talking about a hockey puck. As hard as steel, flying at 100 miles an hour, and hits him right in the dick. Now, I gotta believe he was wearing a cup, right? Regardless, he played with a ruptured testicle. What exactly is a ruptured testicle? What happens? The mechanism of destruction. A ruptured testicle is a health emergency that happens when the membrane holding the testicle breaks. Testicular rupture can occur with blunt force to your scrotum or a penetrating injury. The injury often requires surgical repair, and sometimes your testicle must be removed. Wasn't there a thing we'd say when we were a kid? If you're going down the slide and your balls hit the side, it's a rupture. That's weird. If you're going down the hall and your balls hit the wall, it's a rupture. Am I the only one who did that stupid limerick? He was hit by a shot from Jets defenseman Josh Morrissey in a matchup against the Predators. Missed 9 games with the ailment. The 36-year-old was previously hit in the groin when he blocked a shot in Game 4 of Winnipeg's first-round sweep of Edmonton in the 2021 postseason. I got 3 beautiful kids. We're not having anymore, so what the hell? He said at the time. Wheeler's comments about this injury, though, were a bit different. The Minnesota native finished the game against Nashville and told reporters Thursday he didn't realize he had ruptured a testicle. There's a big difference between being hurt and being injured. I don't know I was injured until the next day, he said. Fuck me. You know, since this kidney operation, I still, to this day, have testicular pain. It's been 2 years and a week. And it's still the same. You're still the same. Caught up with you yesterday. So I said to the doc before I flew from L.A. back to here, I said, yeah, so doc, is a week after surgery. Doc, Dr. Grish, my left ball hurts. And he goes, let me see it. And I said, okay. This is on Zoom. So I'm in the hotel room and I show him my balls. And I remember because I couldn't actually get my balls up to the camera. So I had to stand on the little desk that they have in the hotel room and dangle my balls into the camera. And he goes, well, it looks okay. And Diana's laughing, and she was going to record the whole thing. I said, don't you fucking dare. I didn't even want to talk about it, but it's a long time ago now, so whatever. Believe it or not, I do have some shame. Standing there dangling my balls like an OnlyFans page in front of the little fucking camera on the laptop. You got them? Can you see? I can't see, Doc. All right, move. Drop them a little lower. Doc, it's too low. Your balls are too low. My dick's swinging all around. Get your dick out of the way so I can see your balls. And I'm like, you probably just want to see my balls, right? Jesus. He goes, okay. Your spermatic cord. That's what's going on. I go, okay, what do you? He goes, yeah, I pull pretty tight on that thing. It's going to take a minute to repair itself. Nick writes, for the love of God, do not Google ruptured testicle like I just did. Maureen says, I did too. Ryan says, God, Eric, don't click images like I did. Oh my, these pictures are awful. Ha, ha, ha. I did not. I'm so happy. Rob says, maybe they can x-ray you to see if he left an instrument in there. Well, can you imagine the lawsuit? There's a scalpel brushing up against my ball. Anyway, that's about as close as I can come to that. But anyway, this fucking guy plays. Jesus. Ruptured balls. My God. I don't know if anybody remembers the old school quarterback Bernie Kosar. Went to the U, played for the Browns. I don't know who else he played for. Oh, he's looking old. My God. Well, he was part of like the Cleveland Browns, media team and broadcast coverage. And now let's go over to former legendary quarterback Bernie Kosar for his take on the game with Hanford Dixon. Another guy he does a show with. The Browns in their final game against Pittsburgh. This is the game where the guy sacked the quarterback, Deshaun Watson, and he did the chest compressions and the other guy comes in, that whole thing. Well, before any of that, this is weird because Bernie Kosar is, legendary to the Browns fans. He announced on the radio show, hey, guess what, folks? The Browns are going to win. And in fact, I know they're going to win so much that I dropped $19,000. I don't know why such an odd amount. $19,000 on the Browns to win. And everyone kind of looks at him funny. You're not supposed to do that. If you're affiliated with any team in any way, shape, or form, that's it. You're fucking busted. You cannot bet on football. Even teams, personnel who just kind of represent the team, which I think it's bullshit, frankly. Who gives a fuck? It's not like he's playing the fucking game. They fired him on the spot. They announced, hey, man, sorry, but you're gone. It had to do with the bet he made on the season finale against the Steelers. 59-year-old Kosar placed the first. It was because it was the first legal sports bet in Ohio. And to commemorate that, he decided to drop a ton of cheddar on the Browns, which is stupid to begin with. I remember Bernie Kosar. He spoke at one of my radio conferences I went to years ago, and he was super dumb. Awkward dumb. Doesn't know he's dumb, and keeps talking, and you're like annoyed, and it's embarrassing. Well, dipshit said, all right, I'm going to bet $19,000 on the Browns to win, and he did promise to donate the money to a charity if he won, but there you go. They said you're done. He was he was serving as the team ambassador and appearing on their in-house radio shows. And Steelers game day, yet once again, I was informed by the Browns that my services are no longer desired or needed. He tweeted on Sunday, I will not be doing today's radio program. I am shocked and disappointed. Brown and orange is my life. Oh, poor guy. Well, that's that. A little bit more on that. A couple more things from football, I should say. Madden, the video game, one of their celebrations, like after your team scores a touchdown, has been taken off of the program. So like in future updates for the game, you won't be able to do this move after a touchdown. Give CPR to a player. Fuck. God, it makes so much sense. I cannot believe that. Well, it's not like every day we have a guy have a heart attack, go into cardiac arrest on the field, and I don't know. They should leave it in. What's next? They're going to take away the have a seizure celebration? This is how it looks during the gameplay when you score a touchdown. And what's crazy is on this clip here, it's fucking Bills players. That's not great. Oh, that guy he was acting like he had the fucking defibrillator. Yeah, that's probably not a good idea. So that's out. More also on this dude from the Green Bay Packers, this moment in the game, which, by the way, the hit on Swift was just an ugly-ass hit. That was a cheap shot in itself. But the guy in the hat is the trainer. Right next to him is Quay Walker, who gets all butthurt when the guy goes, excuse me, I got to tend to DeAndre Swift, and he pushes him.
Hit him in the head.
Oh, he pushed a member of the athletic training staff. That's ridiculous.
Oh, my God. Here's this guy walking up to him saying, oh, come on. Now, this guy, this Quay Walker, he's done something earlier in the year where he got thrown out of a game for initiating contact with another person who wasn't like a player. I don't know if it was another trainer or what. A little bit more on this. This is when he was leaving the field. Watch this guy. He is upset.
So meanwhile, in this drive, Quay Walker up the tunnel. Knows the emotion got the worst of him.
He's crying.
For the second time this year on a Sunday night. As we mentioned, we saw it in Buffalo.
Look at him.
Personnel, players on the practice squad, not in uniform. Walker got involved with on the sidelines.
Okay.
So meanwhile, in this drive, Quay Walker up the tunnel. Knows the emotion got the worst of him.
Okay, and I get, knowing what I know now, he's mad at himself right there. This is you got to understand, this is a stupid individual. This is a dumb person, as most of them are. Okay? These are stupid people, and sometimes stupid people act like morons. I will give this moron, though, credit for what he did here. This is his apology. Now, this is, in my opinion, this is an appropriate apology. Moron says, I want to apologize publicly about what I did Sunday night. I reacted off of my emotions again and take full responsibility of making another stupid decision. You see, that's fucking great. Yeah, he's stupid, but this is a good apology. Since then, I've questioned myself on why did I do what I did when the trainer was doing his job. I was wrong. Also, to explain my frustration in the tunnel, I wasn't upset about being kicked out. I just knew I messed up again and was wrong for what I did, and I couldn't believe I did it again. To the Detroit Lions and to the entire training staff, including the person I did that to, I'm sorry. Yeah. And it says Walker should expect a hefty fine at minimum. Probably. Okay. To me, water under the bridge at that point. If you come out that strong with your apology, that's all you got to do. It's all right. You fucked up. You felt bad about it. Hey, everybody deserves second chance or third chance or whatever. I don't give a fuck. You're probably going to be cut. The coach for the team, I don't know who the fucking coach of the Packers is. He's like pointing to his head. He goes, you got to play smart. You're stupid. You're so dumb. God. All right. Finally today, this story kind of unfolded as I left, and I still cannot believe it. It's not good either. It's in Virginia. The 6-year-old brings a handgun to school and shoots the teacher in the chest. What the fuck? The kid's mom had purchased the pistol. The chief of police said the teacher took a defensive position by raising her hand. The bullet went through her hand, went into her chest. Thank God it hit her hand first and took a lot of the velocity off of that. Could have saved her life. The child and parents have been interviewed by the police. The chief said that the child was transported to a hospital where he was evaluated. Police said the child is now at a center receiving treatment. Drew said officers at the school recovered a shell casing, a backpack, and a cell phone, as well as a 9mm handgun used in the shooting. At the time, charges have not been filed against the 6-year-old and the child's parents. Boy, the teacher, Abby Zwerner, her condition is improving. Drew said surveillance video showed her students running out of the classroom into other classrooms after the shooting took place. Teacher was the last to leave the classroom. She turned around to make sure every one of the students were safe. Oh, my God. After she'd been shot in the chest. Of course, life-threatening injuries. She has improved, now listed in stable condition. I'm guessing she will survive. Chief said this was no accident. Not part of any altercation. The kid walked in and shot the teacher. Okay, now what do you do here? Fuck me. I don't even know where to begin on this one. All right. Maybe I do. You start with the kid can never attend public school again. Right? I mean, what's going on in the house that this is what the kid is doing? I can only imagine. Jesus, we gotta get to the bottom of this. What the fuck is the home life like? This is, jeez. And then, mom she's probably in trouble. The mom of the kid who shot the teacher, because if the gun is not in a place that the kid can't reach it, you're in trouble. There's no way you're not in trouble. My God. Shoo. Just glad she's okay. Fuck me. That's got to be the youngest school shooter ever. He's got that going for him. Youngest school. Hold on here. Come on. God damn it. I've had enough of technical shit fucking me up today. Dumb motherfucker. Shit. Killing me, man. I need new batteries in the keyboard here. And I don't think me bashing it on the table is going to help in any way, shape, or form. Youngest school shooter ever. Okay, Kayla Rowland. No, she got shot, okay? Okay, in the year 2000, Kayla Rowland was shot by a 6-year-old classmate. The boy had found the gun while at his uncle's house, so this one ties it. So 6 is, there's now 2 that hold the record for youngest. Whoever shot this little girl, and now, this one. I want to try it. Maybe, I mean, if you think about it, how young are they going to get? Are we looking at maybe like a 2 or 3 month old child could possibly shoot someone? Is this where we're going as a society? Where you might see a kid still in an incubator, holding a pistol, shooting doctors minutes after leaving the womb. Is that where this is going? I mean, I don't think you can get much younger, but is that ultimately where this is going to wind up? I mean, if you're the 6-year-old, does this kid get prosecuted? I think that if a child that young, like the 6-year-old, that child should be tried as an adult. What do you think? And a pause in the action on Not the Best of the Eric Zane Show podcast. How about Joe Martinez from A&E Heating and Cooling? He now has free furnace tune-ups all the way till the end of February. What the hell? That is awesome. He's had so much success, he was able to convince DTE to keep offering this outstanding service. This is how this works. You call Joe at 616-516-8579. Say, please come tune up my furnace. Now, you call any of the other people in town, it's going to cost you $99 to $149. Typically, Joe does it for $79. Well, in fact, he does do it for $79. However, since Joe has teamed up with DTE Energy, He shows up at your house. He tunes the furnace. He gets your account number on your DTE, your gas bill. And then he says, see you later. That's it. No hoops to jump through. DTE pays Joe. My God, is that awesome. 616-516-8579. Hang on. Excuse me. 616-516-8579 for A&E Heating and Cooling. Hello to Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid and EV. Boy, what a week. The great food giveaway, that was so awesome. We had cars going all the way down the street from people who needed a little help, and we were happy to help. Thank you to all the volunteers again who made that possible, and to everybody who donated. My God. And Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid and EV, they love their community. They want you to call upon them if you have anything that you need to be taken care of to keep your vehicle running appropriately. Okay, even if it's as simple as an oil change. This is not a body shop. This is dealing with all the mechanics on your combustion motor or your EV or your hybrid. You got to differentiate these days. They do it all at Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid and EV. Their number is 616-532-6600. Their website is irvines.com, and that is ervines.com. ervines.com. All right, let's continue on with more of Not the Best of, the Eric Zane Show podcast. Hello to you all. Welcome, friends, to the Patreon bonus podcast. Okay, yeah, lickety-split, trying to get this shit done early as much as I can because I'm just jam-packed with all sorts of fun things to do. I've got dogs that need baths. I have a bathroom that needs to be cleaned. Is absolutely disgusting. I think I peed on the floor badly in my bathroom off of my bedroom. And, it didn't smell like pee, but I think one of my many times that I get up in the middle of the night to go potty, I think when I say peed on the floor, I don't even think that I peed in the toilet. I think that for a good portion, it was actually just going right. My dick was aimed right at the floor. And, I think when it was happening, the sound I was hearing was like, oh, it's just hitting the edge of the bowl, but inside the bowl. And I don't think that's true because it's like a yellow glaze on the white. These are like 1 foot by 1 foot ceramic tiles. White. They're off white, but they're white. And they're yellow. I think I peed on there and then it dried to be like a pure electrolyte jelly. Now onto there. And I don't know how long it's been there, but I noticed, I was like, what the fuck? Oh, and I wanted to blame the NFK because that's like something he would do. But I was mortified. I was like, oh, well, that couldn't have been anybody but me. I pissed on the floor. So I said to Diane, I go, hey, I feel bad about this. Did you? And she goes, I didn't notice. I go, thank God. Well, that's coming up today. I'm getting up. I got the gloves on, hands and knees, scrub. Okay, I'm good at messing shit up. There's no question. But I'm also really good at cleaning it. I've talked to you many times about how I trash it, clean it, trash it, clean it. That's it. I'm equally as good at cleaning as I am trashing. You run into trouble when you just don't clean it. Check out Daisy over here. She's trying to muscle in, get Bruce out of the fucking way. Look at. She's like, okay. Yeah, hey, it's okay if you muscle him out. Just don't start licking him. Okay, honey pie? Don't do that. I know he's got his handsome bow. He actually has a bow tie collar on now. He's adorable. Fantastic. So there's that. And then, I tell you what, that's the only thing about the kidney donation. I don't know why this is. I don't know the mechanism. but I have to pee a lot every night. Frequent trips to the potty. Unless I just don't drink anything. And I'm not kidding you. The other night, when we were in Florida, from 5 p.m. on, all I had was, with dinner, an 8-ounce glass of lemonade. That is all I had. And I drank that at probably 6:30. And I get up, doesn't matter. I get up 2-3 times a night to go to the bathroom. It's the worst. Stevie asks, what, were you drunk? No, I think, you see, my crank is weird because it kind of is one of those ones that when it's dangling down, it kind of like goes wonky, like to the side. And so I think I might have just did a sidewinder shot on it. Do you drink anything for Ben and Eric? You don't take pee breaks on that podcast. No, that's true. I don't, and I do. I drink plenty, and then once I start going, though, I'm done. Then it's like you like break the seal. You ever have that happen? Once I break the seal, it's all over. And it's not in it, but so it's not all the time during the day, but for sure when I lay down to go to bed, I'm gonna pee several times a night. I don't know. Anyway. And then I got dog washing duties today. I got to clean. O'Neill needs a bath, and Daisy needs a bath. Now, these two are a little bit more behaved than Benny and Bruce. These two, Benny and Bruce, act like they're in lava. O'Neill is a little more laid back. He's a pretty sweet boy. Hi, handsome boy. How are you? Hi. Hi, handsome boy. Well, when can I meet that boy? Hi, handsome boy. Hey, honey, how you doing?
Hey, honey, how you doing?
Hi, handsome boy.
Hi, handsome boy.
When can I meet that boy?
When can I meet that boy?
Maureen indicates that she knows. I feel like I know a little too much about your junk. Yes, that's true. I am way too liberal on the details about my genitals. All right. Football analyst Chris Sims. His dad is Phil Sims, legendary quarterback for the Giants and fantastic broadcaster. The son had a great career at Texas. Not so much in the NFL. Took his knowledge of football, and he's good on his feet. He's a great analyst. Does the same deal. It's like father, like son. Well, he got pissed off. He was on some podcast, and I don't think he got in any trouble for this, and he shouldn't. I mean, who gives a shit? He was pissed off because ESPN's Instagram took him to task. He had made some statement about the importance of Jalen Hurts to the Philadelphia Eagles. And as the football season has gone on for them, Hurts' injury, they brought in whoever, some backup, doesn't matter. And the Eagles fucking lost 2 in a row. They performed like shit without Jalen Hurts. This guy is the MVP of the league, without a doubt. Jalen Hurts is, if he doesn't get injured, he's going to be one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, in my opinion. The guy is just fucking awesome. He can do anything. That dude could play like 5 positions in the NFL. He made that stupid statement. Oh, yeah, about something about how Jalen Hurts, if he's not there, the Eagles are still going to do great or some shit, and they fucking fell right on their dicks. And so ESPN's Instagram, rival network, started rubbing his nose in it, and he was on some dude's podcast, and listen to this. He is extremely butthurt that they are busting his balls. Listen to this guy.
surprising. And, again, Jalen Hurts makes them better. I know that. And, you, SportsCenter Instagram, for, putting it out again for, the third time in 3 weeks. Off. Really, off ESPN SportsCenter.
I think this is actually his podcast. I'm sorry. It says Chris Sims Unbuttoned. Or maybe he's on this guy's podcast and he shows up weekly. Doesn't matter, but he's dropping the bombs.
Jalen Hurts makes them better. I know that. And, you, SportsCenter Instagram, for, putting it out again for, the third time in 3 weeks. Off.
Okay. Fuck off. You sound like an idiot, okay? You don't sound intimidating. No one who looks like that much of a dork saying it in the whitest way possible can sound like a tough guy. And then this guy here, why is he not laughing in his face for the when he's coming unglued?
And you, SportsCenter Instagram, for putting it out again for the third time in 3 weeks. Off. Really, off ESPN SportsCenter. Seriously, they didn't put it out that in my quote last week after the Cowboys game, but they're going to wait to the game yesterday. That's why I hate social media, and you, ESPN SportsCenter, one more time on the way.
Holy shit.
Media and you, ESPN SportsCenter, one more time on the way out.
You wait till it's relevant. You can slam someone. You just.
Let's.
You see, this guy in the red, he's making a huge mistake by yes-anding him. He should challenge that. He should be like, well, I mean, come on now. You're buying right into their plan by doing this right here. You'd have been better off ignoring it or rolling with it. But what you're doing here is you just sound like a bitch. That's what he should be saying to Chris Sims, because he does sound like a bitch. And he looks like a bitch, too. Anybody who looks like that is a complete bitch.
ESPN SportsCenter, one more time on the way out.
You wait till it's relevant. You can slam someone. Let's
wait
for the right opportunity.
Do they not make content in there anymore? I mean, damn, stop jocking me.
Jocking me. Bullshit. Anytime you can get under someone's skin, that's content. You being the bitch is more interesting than anything else going on that you happen to be talking about. So shut the fuck up.
ESPN.
Well, in the whole context, I feel like people think
you
went
piece of your check.
This was in the MVP debate context. Who is most valuable
to the team?
Invite
me on SportsCenter and let's have a conversation if you want to really get into this SportsCenter.
Wow.
Invite me on ESPN. You scared little babies. There you go.
Wow.
They're scared. They don't want any piece of me.
And
bullshit.
Babies.
Yeah. You're horrible.
Yeah, that's a low blow.
Do you think
a low blow? What an asshole. This guy's such a pussy. Oh my God. Oh, that's fantastic. I'm glad that happened. Holy shit. All right. So there's that. Hold on a second. What the fuck is going on here? See? Oh my God. Am I hearing me? I am. That's fantastic. Pizza! I'm glad that happened. Never mind. It's gone now. Scared little babies. Whoa, easy there, killer. Chris says. Jesus. I don't know. Maybe it's all a wrestling work. Update. Do you remember the lady about a year ago who she's working the drawbridge in Florida? And she's sitting there. She's on her fucking phone, being an asshole, whatever. And then she sees that there's a ship coming through the channel or whatever. And she hits the big button. And right before she hits the big button, she does not read the sign. It says, look on bridge to see if anyone is on bridge. And she said, fuck that shit. And she hit the thing and it opened up. And sure enough, there's a little old lady on the fucking thing. And she fell to her death. And then right away, people are like, hey, wait a minute. What happened here? I mean, there's protocols in place to keep this from happening. How could this have happened? And she said, I don't know. I checked. I looked and there was no one on the bridge. Okay? Well, they did a little poking around. And the lady at the bridge, they found out, had texted her buddy she was talking to her lady pal. I just killed a lady on the bridge. She was arrested. This is months ago. Posted bail, $20,000. Well, there's finally resolution. Family very, very upset, obviously, the loss of their loved one. 79-year-old woman from West Palm fell from the Royal Park Bridge. Now, I don't know why this is, but what is going on in the legal system where all you have to do is take a plea and essentially nothing happens to you? Now, I don't know about you, but if you kill someone, even though you didn't mean to kill them, in a lot of those cases, there should be some type of punishment. Now, maybe not on one where it's just an accidental death, but on one where the cover-up is worse than the crime, like this. I just killed a lady, she texted. I think for sure that should involve some jail time. You know, even if you do plead guilty. Artisha LaFay Polk, 43-year-old woman, who's the lady who hit the big red button, killed the lady on the bridge, and then said to her friend, "Oh my God, I just killed somebody." And then said, "I had no idea she was on the bridge." She spent a little time in jail, not much. She, made bail, $20,000 bail. So I don't know how much time she spent in jail leading up to this case, but she did plead guilty in court to one count of manslaughter. Now, it's just remarkable to me that prosecutors would try to get this type of sentence. Now, I don't know. Maybe as I look further into the story, the prosecutor had consulted the family of the deceased to see if they were okay with it. Now, if that's the case, maybe, I guess. She pled guilty. And in the plea agreement, the judge sentenced her to 2 days in jail. She killed a chick and 200 hours of community service. She only gave her 2 days. The judge, Scott Suskauer, only gave Artisha 2 days in jail because that was the amount of time she spent in jail waiting to make bail. So they gave her the credit for the 2 days in jail. So she killed someone because she was negligent. She then texted her friend that she just killed someone. Then she lied about it. Then they found out that she lied about it. Then she pled guilty, and she's getting 200 hours of community service for killing someone. Holy shit. She did get 8 years of probation, though. Don't kill anyone else on the drawbridge and must pay court costs. She will not be, here's the boom. She's not permitted to work at any job involving operating heavy machinery or equipment. No more bridge work for you, Artisha. Polk was also ordered Tuesday to write a letter of apology to the victim's sisters. You mean she hasn't apologized to their faces now? What the fuck? She was arrested March 17th after the victim, Carol Wright, fell 40 feet to her death when the bridge opened as she crossed it with her bicycle. Police claimed that surveillance video contradicted the statement that she walked out onto the balcony and visually checked the bridge. Probable cause affidavit obtained by the TV station showed that Polk's supervisor, Kathy Harper, who was also her mother-in-law, told her to tell the police that she checked the bridge. My God. These are the two that sent the text messages back and forth to each other. I just killed somebody. Well, why? And one of the messages, the report shows that Harper instructed Paul to do just that, lie about checking the bridge. The other chick, the mother-in-law, was not arrested. They were both fired. There was a lawsuit. A settlement was reached. $8.2 million was reached in July. The deceased lady's family filed a lawsuit against Florida Drawbridges, Inc. So the company that, I guess, runs the drawbridges, they had to pay $8.2 million after this stupid, lying fucking whore killed their loved one. My God. Jesus, this is the type of shit that makes people relatives of the deceased want to take somebody out. You know, you get one family member who just drinks a little bit too much, and they're going to find this crazy bitch and shoot her. That is so fucked up to me. So she kills somebody, gets 200 hours of community service, and has to pay for court fees. My God, what a crock of shit. Stevie writes, no more bridge work for Kevin. Nick says, what the fuck? I did 59 days for drinking on probation. Oh, my God. I'm sorry you had to deal with that shit. I bet that was a bad feeling. When they found that shit out, sitting there in front of your probation officer, oh, God, fucking shit, no. Thank you for your honesty, by the way. That's like the old Eric Zane show, Free Beer and Hot Wings show code going on there. Sad to report that JoJo Girard just got shit canned. JoJo Girard is on the oldies station in town, 98.7 WFGR. Been in Grand Rapids for years. I'm reaching out to him. Maybe he can join us on the podcast. Maybe not today. I'd rather have him on the free one. Yeah, he was on 98.7. I've known him for years. He was there when I was there at Town Square. Don't know why they fired him. Great talent. He was on the old I-96 in Grand Rapids, I believe. And, or maybe it was 105.7. Which one was SNX? No, it wasn't I-96. It was, which one is SNX? 104.5. I think it was on SNX. And then he went to Baltimore. Made a name for himself in Maryland. And then got back to Grand Rapids years ago and has been on the air for, about a decade. And I'm not sure what the fuck happened over there, but let me take a look here. I think radio happened to it. No one is safe. No one is safe. They've got 3 people on as air talent. Some lady named Sarah Sullivan, Scott Winters, and The Night Shift, which is just probably automated. Sarah Sullivan, who's cute, by the way, is on from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. And then Scott Winters. I should text him. Hey, Siri. Text Scott Winters. Hey, buddy. Period. What's going on with JoJo? Question mark. Got my feelers out there. Okay, you're not going to believe this story about this judge in New York. This is proof. I always, it's really strange to me when black people are racist, but not to white people. racist, or bigoted. I mean, to me, the group of people that I would think would be least likely to be bigoted would be black people. And that's why the whole John Gibbs thing, working with all those scumbags in Ottawa County, is strange to me, knowing that he's black. They're wiping out diversity, equity, and inclusion. They're wiping out the statement that says you belong, or whatever the fuck it is. You are welcome. I don't know what the fuck it said, but now they changed it to where freedom rings. I find that weird when black people who should be very sensitive to how bad discrimination can affect someone are, in fact, discriminatory. I mean, you expect it from us crackers. And you would expect it to some degree for a black guy on a white guy, but not a black person on Latinas, and gay people. And you're damn well sure not a fucking judge. But that's exactly what happened. Holy shit, this judge is in deep shit. A judge in New York has been on the hot seat for extended time. And I'll tell you what the charge is. Brooklyn's surrogate court judge Harriet Thompson. This all began to percolate way back. More than 1 year ago, December of 2021. Now, the comments were made actually in September, and then it came to light in December of 21. Okay? A New York judge allegedly made vile, bigoted remarks while on the job, including saying homosexuality is an abomination, claiming Hispanic people have deceitful traits, and accusing her colleagues of sleeping their way to the top. Now, the article I'm actually pulling this from right now is back in September of 22. Okay, so this all came to light December 21, and then they're reporting it just this most recent September. The Inspector General found that Harriet Thompson called 4 other judges gay, racist, F rhymes with baggots. She called them gay, racist baggots. So they must be white and gay, I'm thinking. Or maybe, I guess I don't know what nationality or origin they are. Gay, racist baggots who were all fucking each other. I'm guessing they were Hispanic. And trying to ruin me and get me. According to the papers filed by the Office of Court Administration, as they were seeking to uphold the suspension. They were white. She then said, I hate these gay white men. Being gay is an abomination to mankind. Now look, let's break that down. If she had said if she said I hate white men, being white is an abomination to mankind, she probably would have been okay because it's true. Thompson, who was elected to a 14-year term in 2018, allegedly said that of other judges. I hate these gay white men. The court papers lay out dozens of other homophobic, racist, or otherwise inappropriate and offensive comments that Thompson allegedly made before she was benched by New York Chief Administrative Judge Lawrence Marks. A lot of the judges are jealous of me because I'm smart, whereas these other judges had to sleep with and fuck other people to get where they're at, the court papers said, Thompson said. Thompson, who made $210,900 in 2021, also allegedly said that she didn't like Hispanic people.
Es una puta. Vete a la chingada, cabrón.
Accusing them of being liars.
Ya no te voy a dar mis nalgas.
I don't like Hispanics. They've got a deceitful trait that goes way back to biblical times, the court papers allege. The OCA claimed Thompson said, quote, that whenever she has a case involving a litigant with a Hispanic-sounding name, she, quote, assumed the litigant was a liar. Fuck. It's okay to think this shit. You can't think it out loud. I mean, that's what I feel about all of you, but I don't say it out loud. I'm kidding. Relax. Ed, I'm so mad at you. Oh, my God. I'm taking a break. Jesus. She was also accused of demeaning court workers' looks. I'm okay with that. Swearing repeatedly. A-okay. And using racist and anti-gay slurs. I'm okay with that if there's no microphone nearby. The appalling comments included once saying a gay judge was, quote, fat now from all of the evil of what he's doing. So I guess because his ding-dong went into a butthole, it made him fat. Kyle Ryan's not fat. And criticizing a black judge for having blonde hair. So she's even letting the black judges, the black people have it. Fuck. She also allegedly called a black judge, a house N-word. That's, ooh, boy. And a puppet for the white man. You notice I didn't actually say it like that Albion basketball coach. You can't, even if you're quoting, you can't say it. I don't even like to think it. That's rough. Thompson, and this is the judge right here. This is her. She's smiling in this image. Wait a minute. What the fuck am I doing? I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. That's her right there. Look at it. She's solid. She's happy. She's underneath the sign that says, "In God we trust," unless if you're a house N-word or F rhymes with Baggett or Hispanic or blonde-haired black woman. Jesus. Talks about her history, serving as a civil judge in 2011. So that's about where this ended in September. Now, update on the story today. Everybody was kind of waiting for the axe to fall, and it took that much time. Actually published just the other day, New York judge accused of making racist, anti-Semitic gay remarks has agreed to step down. Now you're thinking, if you agree to step down, you're waving the white flag. You're like, yes, I am an asshole. It's the end of my career. I mean, like, case in point. If you bash your girlfriend's head in, and then the girlfriend tells everybody about it, and then your boss says, you gotta get off the radio in your job here. But we're going to make it so, you don't have to say, I'm leaving because I got fired for beating a girl up. You can just say you stepped down for any old reason. That's all hypothetical, of course. None of that is steeped in anything that actually happened, ever, as far as you know. The judge has agreed to step down, and she said because her shoulder's sore. I am not making this up. She said her shoulder hurts, and that's why she's getting out of the $210,000 job. Right there, claiming a shoulder injury has left her unable to fight the misconduct allegations. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. I got a bum shoulder, so I can't look you in the face and tell you that I'm not a bigot? fuck, I think it's better to just say, yeah, I just hate gay people, and I don't like Hispanics. So what? I think that would be less damaging. No, I can't say that. That's ridiculous. And don't use my words out of context. Let's see. Does she have anything more about this? About her stepping down. Her lawyer said that if the judge weren't injured, she would have fought the claims. Had Judge Thompson not developed this disabling illness of a sore shoulder, she would have vigorously defended herself, but found that it was impossible. It was an impossible thing to do impossible. And her lawyer says it should be noted that there are no findings of wrongdoing that have been entered against her. Well, yeah, because they weren't allowed to proceed. She leaves with her reputation intact. You asshole. The CJC administrator, Rob Tembekian, Armenian, said the case against Thompson was egregious and if established at trial would have warranted her removal from office. She now claims a medical condition prevents her from performing judicial duties, which opens a different path and furtherance of the public interest for her immediate and permanent departure from the bench, Tembekian said. Thompson has also agreed to drop any litigation against the CJC. So that is that. What a fucking entitled whore. You loudmouth, bigoted fucking bitch. Fuck you. Holy shit. That's unbelievable. Again, just like the orthodontist who threw away his whole career for child porno, this fucking idiot goes ahead and throws away her entire career, years of law school and serving on the bench, because of her twisted, bigoted view of the world. You fucking asshole. My God. She can't swing the gavel anymore. Shoulder hurts. Of course. The injury to the shoulder, part of the story, has jogged Stevie's memory. Remember when Eric called in sick to Free Beer and Hot Wings when he hurt his ankle? That was bad. I don't care. They may have laid it on pretty thick there, but that was the strangest injury ever. It was nothing like dramatic. I didn't twist the ankle. I opened the bottom drawer of the armoire and closed it with my upper shin. And the next thing I know, it's debilitating pain, and I had a subdural hematoma. I can even show you what it looked like. Subdermal hematoma images. What happens is a blood vessel ruptures, and you start to bleed under your skin. Oh, it is subdural. Okay. I'll show you what happened to me, you smart ass. All of this shit. This one right here is like a microscopic view of what happens. A little blood vessel rips, and then the blood pours out. And then it looks like fucking this. This is what my ankle looked like. Look at that. Oh, that guy's foot is so hot. That was horrible. And the pain was so bad, motherfucker. And everybody made fun of me and attacked me. And I was like, no. This is legit as balls. That was bad. I wish I had the ability to show them then. Those assholes. That pissed me off. And I could sense that they were really, really beating me up over it. And questioning my integrity. And I was like, well, I guess I just got to go with it now. I could make it awkward, but I'm not. I just got to roll with it. Fucking assholes. Okay. Oh, my. That is going to do it. The Eric Zane Show podcast. not the best of the Eric Zane Show podcast, my God, is concluding. I thank you so much for checking this out. If you want more, I have a special episode on Patreon. It's called Something to Listen to While I'm Away. I've been releasing these in the order that I have them in my possession. We're near the end of February 2010. Your old pal EZ doing morning radio. You will love all of the episodes of Something to Listen to while I'm away. They're available at patreon.com/Eric Zane. Till next time, thanks for checking this out, folks. Have a good one. Bye-bye.